We really boxing. Who wanted the baddest? Let's see.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weeping and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO. This how it's finna go. I'ma throw some jabs. Make them think my punch is weaker than I hook his ass. This the ring, not the kitchen, but I'ma cook his ass. Me and him, that's the pro versus the rookie class. All my life I had to fight, but I still love it. Me and BVO got moves that you can't steal from us. And these haters be throwing shots, but I don't feel nothing. I ain't gonna lie, shit, they alright, but we a little rougher. Step up for the title and face your rival, this ain't no little tussle. Bet I'll be no bird, being chicken to get your feathers ruffled. Footwork, I'm dancing around my opponent like the Cupid shuffle. Good work, bodies hit the flow, they can't move a muscle. The upside is we ain't in the streets, shooting and shooting up. Catch me in the ring, sticking, moving and suited up. I know everybody can eat, but I ain't full enough. All you said is smoking some beef, I guess I'm pulling up. Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weeping and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy BBO Boxing. Back with another video, man. My brother D Freeze on the way. It's another episode of Roll with the Punches podcast. You know, I want to send a shout out to everybody coming through, rocking with us tonight. Trying something different. Salute to my brother Big Tex. Said, what the F BBO? I don't know what that's about. Salute to my guy, Jew Titan. What's up with you, brother? Salute to my brother A1, my arch nemesis inside the TWT family. What's going on with you, my brother? Let me get you there if I got the thing. We got the thing right for you right here. Yo, so while we wait for my brother D Free to come through, I'll just go ahead and start the show. So what we talking about today is I know we all heard about Errol Spence taking the rematch. And I mean, I know a lot of people want to see him fight Terence Crawford again. I'm not one of those people because, you know, when you get beat to death like that, I think it kind of is already a foregone conclusion what happened. I know he's going to vacate all the belts at 147 and fight him at 154 if that's the case. I'm just wondering, is this more of a money thing or is this something that he really wants to do? Because at the end of the day, I don't know what about that fight lets Errol think he can win or has a chance. I don't know. All I can say is this. For him to go into a fight like that, I mean, I think it's very, very dangerous. I do. And I think he might maybe have a death wish because at the end of the day, man, when somebody beats you from pillar to post like that, bro, you need to get away from him and stay away from him. Terence Crawford, I'll tell you this. I don't know. It might just because of the recent things that he's done. But Terence Crawford really impressed me because he's got this whole thing of he don't care about losing his own. He don't care. All he wants to do is prove that he's great. And whatever that may call, whatever that may take. Now all of a sudden you're hearing Terence Crawford talking about he want to fight Canelo Alvarez. I mean, just crazy stuff. Like he want to get his head whooped. And when you hear that type of talk, beating a guy like Errol Spence probably empowers him. I mean, when you beat a guy who got all the belts, I mean, at the end of the day, people try to play all these games, but I think Errol Spence is an A+ fighter. I think at the end of the day, he's running into a bad style, and we all know I'm a big proponent of the aggressive Mexican style, but it's hard for a Mexican to be a slick black fighter. So it really is not something easy to do. It's very hard to do, to be honest with you. People don't understand that. Like when you go in there to be the slick black fighter, you not only fighting him, you fighting that ring IQ, you fighting the positioning of your feet, you fighting trying to make sure that you in the right space, you throwing the right punch, that you got your mind together. And I think when you think about that, and I ask everybody in the chat, do you think that Errol Spence can make the necessary adjustments to mess around and beat somebody like him? I don't know. I'm not saying he can't, but I don't know. What I've seen recently tells me no. And the thing is, everybody loves to go back to the fact when he fought Mikey Garcia. When Errol fought Mikey Garcia, we seen him fight one time. We seen him box one time. That's not the norm. So that being said, it's okay if you think he can beat him. But what I want to do is be realistic. Can he really go in there with a good game plan and beat a guy like Terence Crawford? Terence Crawford took his butt off and beat him in front of the world. It made it look very, very easy, if you ask me. And I just don't see the reason why he wants to take this fight other than money. Tell me why. Tell me if I'm wrong in the chat. I don't know. But one thing I will say, press the like button for your boy BBO. Press the like button for your boy D Free, man, because that's what we do it for. We want you two to know we over here doing something. But I'll tell you this. Going forward, man, this will be the biggest fight of Errol Spence's life. We all know. This will be another chance for him to get a redemption at the legacy fight that he lost. And it's okay to lose legacy fights. Roberto Duran lost to Marvin Hagler. Roberto Duran lost to Sugar Ray Leonard the second time. So, I mean, you're going to lose fights. Muhammad Ali lost 5 fights. It happens. It just does. Salute to my brother, 86 Boxing. I just know going forward, we got to see some wholesale changes from Errol Spence. And it's very tough at 33 to change what you've always been doing, what you've always known to do, what you've always kind of seen work for you. It's kind of tough to change those things. But I believe Errol Spence has a small chance of doing that. But I'm not under any kind of farce to think that he can do this easily. He can win easily. I don't think that. And I would be lying to you if I told you I believe that, because I don't. What I'm basically saying is this. If he goes into that fight, we're going to need him to come in with a better game plan, because his defense was atrocious, man. We got to be honest here. His defense was atrocious, man. You don't go into a fight with a slick black fighter like that. You don't go in there guns a-blazing. And let's be honest here. Errol threw more punches. Errol did the same things that we always seen him do, but he wasn't able to take the punches in between punches. And he also couldn't take that power right hand jab that Bud was hitting me with. That power jab was really something I don't think he was looking for and really prepared for, because using that right hand as your lead hand, and that's his natural, writing hand that he uses for writing. I mean, that right power jab really, people don't realize that really shocked the crap out of Errol Spence. So, I mean, that being said, I think he has to make some wholesale changes. I could be wrong about that, but I'm just giving you what I think. And we got to talk about another big thing, a couple of big things we want to talk about. One thing I want to ask you guys is, what do you guys think about Sugar Shakur? Shakur Stevenson is one of the best talkers in boxing. I give him that. 1 minute he's black, 1 minute he's Puerto Rican, whatever the case may be. He's a terrific young fighter. We all seen the promise of what he did at the Olympics. I think he's a silver medalist in the Olympics, former Olympian. I believe he's a 2 or 3 time world champion, legit world champion. So that being said, we got to really call Sugar Shakur to the carpet, because he's a 2-time, 2-division champion. At the end of the day, man, he ain't fought nobody. Everybody talking about, he should have took the fight with Devin Haney. He didn't have to take that fight. He can get a better fight. At the end of the day, man, that's what we love about boxing. Let's take the rational out of it. The reason that me, you, and anybody else watches boxing is because we like to see the miraculous and see somebody do something that's so difficult and make it look like it's nothing. And I'm telling you, that's what we missing in boxing. We missing those guys who are willing to go out there and make it happen, who are willing to take on tough fights. Let me ask you guys this. When Floyd went in there and said he wanted to fight Oscar De La Hoya, who was 2 weight classes bigger than him, did anybody say, "Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know if that'll work"? No, they love the fact that Floyd Mayweather was like, "Yo, I want to fight this kid. I want to see what I can do." The funny thing was when he got up there to 147, where he got really most of his wins. If you ask me, what he did at 147 is what made him a Hall of Famer. Um, he just went in there and beat Oscar to death. And when he did that, it just lets you know that there's levels to the game and there's different things that you can do in this sport that, if you want to be great, you can put the work in and really do that. And I think one of the bigger things that we forget about in boxing, especially, watching it now, we kind of romanticize the past. We all do. We all love to talk about what happened back in the day. This was that. This was this. But at the end of the day, what we really miss is people not caring about that. Oh, going in there, fighting the best, making the best happen. One of the things we all love about the UFC is ain't no politics. Ain't no I'm not fighting him. If you number one, you fighting number two. If you number two, you fighting number three. If you number one, you fighting the champion. It's just like that. If you're a champion and you need to take a break, guess what? We're going to have a 1 and 2 fight, count another champion, and then y'all fight champion versus champion. And I think that kind of model is something that's sustainable for boxing. I think the belts, the lack of people wanting to dare to be great is killing our sport. It's killing our sport. You can't tell me that you love boxing as much as you used to with all the goofy and crazy stuff going on. Hold on, salute to my brother A1. He said, "Hey, hold up. Back to EJ versus Bud too. You seen the movie Troy? If so, that little kid who said I wouldn't want to fight him, EJ's response to BBO is nobody who will remember you, man, built different." That's a good point. He said everybody ain't running from everybody. He said ain't nobody running, ain't nobody running. They get back if they believe in themselves. Clearly, BBO, you ain't got that backbone to run it back when it was a job. At the end of the day, A1, I'll probably stop you in the first 3 rounds. But all jokes aside, what I'm saying is this. This is what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with understanding that, styles make fights. I just think that style for Errol Spence is not a good style. I'm not saying that he can't win. I'm not saying he doesn't have what it takes to do any of that. All I'm telling you is that what we've seen in that fight, yeah, he can get his get back, but how will he get his get back? You tell me 2 things that Errol Spence can change overnight that you think will make him beat Bud. I don't think there is. Bud was the stronger man. He kept his distance really well. The strength was there was clearly an IQ difference. There was clearly the punching in between punches. I mean, the defense, let's be honest, Bud Crawford kind of played with his food, so to speak. So that's why we didn't see a knockout earlier. I'm not saying Earl can't win. I'm not saying Earl shouldn't try to win. All I'm saying is this, that if this brother goes into this fight doing the same old things he's always done, he's going to lose. What I'm saying is, I don't know. I've never seen an A1. I've never seen a guy change his stripes. I've never seen a tiger change their stripes. Usually, guys are who they are, and that's what it is. He said, shoot to my man Boxer Scholar. He said that man ain't played with his food. I believe he did, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because you could tell after I think it was the first or second knockdown, you could just tell that Errol Spence was just done. And I really believe this, and I could be wrong. Matter of fact, I'm gonna drop the link. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. I could be wrong, but what I'm saying is this, Boxing Scholar. When you see a guy, kind of take it easy on him. I really felt like he could have really hurt Errol really bad, and he didn't. And I'm not trying to, take shots at Bud for that. I'm just saying the fact is this: you can tell that the man was playing with him. If you say how you say that, BBO, because he carried him to the 9th round when he knocked him out. He carried him there. At the end of the day, the ref did the only logical thing. I mean, Errol was getting beat to death. And when you're getting beat to death like that, come on, man. The only logical thing is to stop the fight. He said, Bud was overtrained, bro. Um, I don't know. One thing I can say about Bud that I did know and I did recognize is that Bud had been talking about this fight since he came to the division. So it wasn't as if Bud didn't want this fight. It was clear Bud wanted this fight. It was clear Errol wanted this fight because we seen Errol give up his whole A side to make the fight. What I'm saying is, I would have wished for Errol Spence that he would have came in with a better game plan than he came in. And the fact that he came in off of was a 15-month layoff. I mean, the layoff was ridiculous. You don't go into the biggest fight of your career with that long a layoff for what? And at the end of the day, we all seen Errol Spence at the epilogue where he had 2 cheeseburgers. So it wasn't the weight. He said he made the weight easy. He had a chef this time in camp. He had a chef the whole time in camp. He said he made the weight easy. So if you made the weight easy, what happened? What happened, in my opinion, Boxing Scholar, is that he went in there with a guy who was more talented and who really, beat him to death. With the jab, beating him to the punch, being a stronger man, cutting off his jab. It's not easy to cut off a man's strongest attribute. But the funny thing was, Bud went in there and really stopped his strongest attribute. And when you do something like that, it's like, wow, that was a masterclass. And think about it. Errol is supposedly the natural southpaw. And you would have thought Bud was. He said Bud said he got sick. I don't know. I'll say that was that the Errol Spence I'm used to seeing? No. But Bud called it back in 2018 and said, okay, when I stop him, don't say that he stayed at the weight class too long, he was drained. Every excuse I've ever heard him about Errol Spence losing is the same stuff that Bud said in 2018 when they met in that hallway at that fight. He said he didn't carry Spence. I mean, it's a matter of opinion. You don't have to agree with me. That's fine. You got a right to have your own opinion. I'm telling you what I thought, what I've seen. I think he carried him. And I say that simply off the fact that he could have easily ended that fight anytime he wanted to, and he didn't. And when you do something like that, I mean, it's like he just was in there playing with him almost. I mean, he looked like he really could have hurt him bad if he wanted to do so. And I'll just say, you know what? He didn't. He showed him a lot of mercy. And think about it. At the end of the fight, what's the first thing out of Bud's mouth? Thank you for making this fight. This fight wouldn't have happened without you. So, I mean, that being said alone lets you know, like, hey, I honestly, I think it's a little bit more diabolical in the fact that I think that Terrence Crawford really, really, man, conned Errol into giving him everything he wanted and then went in there and beat him to death. I really believe that Bud knew he could always beat him. He always knew he could beat Errol. And he said, you know what? Let me try to make the fight this way or that way. And then I'm going to go ahead. We're going to make the fight. They fought. And guess what? Errol lost badly. And he lost so bad, it almost said you don't want a rematch. So you can't tell me you don't want a rematch. You can't tell me that you want a rematch with Errol versus EJ. I mean, with EJ versus Bud, but you don't want a rematch between Canelo versus Bivol. It makes no sense of the same type of fight. He said, stop the cap. He ain't carry him. He proceeded with caution because he knew EJ was a threat, bro. Stop the cap. Bud did his thing, but he also approached it knowing EJ was a true threat. Come on, at the end of the day, he might have been a threat. But what I'm saying is this, you capping like crazy, as usual. Let me do something, man. Let me do something for you. Let me snatch your chain, man. You talking too crazy. But before I do that, I got to play you one quick thing, man, because this for you, A1.
You have to stop. Y'all keep talking. Huh? You keep talking, man. And you shut the fuck up. Huh?
Is a no good, lousy son of a bitch. Hey. That's exactly what he is.
And what I'm saying is simple as this. When you see a guy lose like that, it's more to the story. And all I can say is this. When it came to boxing and it came to game plans, at the end of the day, man, you can't tell me from watching, if you just watch that fight, that Errol Spence belongs and fight Terrence Crawford again. I don't think he should. He might do it, but I don't think he should. He said, Dick Gerke said after every word. You said, hey, hit up Knockout TV. We can debate on boxing. I guarantee I'll cook you worse than Bud, than EJ. At the end of the day, man, you sound good. Might even make you feel good, but you can't see me in nothing, bro. It's that simple, bro. But I'll just tell you this. I just think that fight in general, man, it's just a bad matchup. And I'll tell you why it's a bad matchup. Think about how George Foreman beat the life out of Joe Frazier. But then Muhammad Ali beats him easy. But Muhammad Ali has some of the three toughest fights of his career from Joe Frazier. It's just a style thing. I think the style's a bad style for EJ. I mean, it's just that simple. Can he win? Probably. Do I see it? I just don't see him winning that fight. I just don't. And at the end of the day, can he do it? I mean, you can do a lot of things, but at the end of the day, a tiger don't change his stripes. And think about all the Mexican fighters that you've seen fight slick black fighters, whether it's Chavez, whether it's Oscar versus Sweet Pea. At the end of the day, bro, it's not easy, man. It's not easy to beat that slick style. All Errol was doing was coming forward, getting pieced up. But I mean, like I said, we can agree to disagree on that. That's just one of those tough matchups for him. But don't get me wrong. I really think a guy that I would love to see EJ fight, but I know it probably wouldn't happen. I would love to see him fight Brian Castano. I think Brian Castano would be a good fight for him. I think that'd be a good fight. They both been out the ring. One's a former champion at 154. We haven't seen Brian Castano since he fought Jamel Charlo. I think that'd be a good fight for him. Get his feet wet at 154, and then maybe go into a Terrence Crawford fight. But to go right in there, if you don't have the right plan, you don't have the right things going on, bro. Hey, he said, D Free, what's good with you, brother? Hey, hold on 1 second, y'all. Let me check something out. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, that's my daughter showing me something. Thank you. So hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Hey, but hold on 1 second. I was trying to figure something out. But I'll tell you this. I think that fight in general, man, I'm telling you, that fight with EJ versus Crawford, I just think it's really at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with it. I think EJ only taking that fight to make some more money, man. Because nothing about what we've seen in that fight so he can win. But we gotta talk about a real life fighter that's really getting on my nerves, man. We hearing all this junk about Sugar Shakur, he's this and that. At the end of the day, man, I'm wondering what y'all think. I think Frank Martin probably lose to Sugar Shakur. I don't see Frank Martin being Sugar Shakur. I really don't. With Devin Haney gone, and if he don't fight Tank, I really don't see nobody beating Sugar Shakur. I think Shakur is really a great fighter. He said Bud versus Canelo. Honestly, to tell you the truth, man, boxing scholar, I really think that Bud is too small, to fight Canelo. But that's just my opinion. I don't know. I did see Bud kind of struggle to make 147. I think he had to leave for half an hour and come back to make the weight or whatever the case may be. But I honestly don't see him. I don't really see him being able to fight. I think that's just talk. Because at the end of the day, him going to 168, it sounds good. Might even make him feel good. But he's not going up to 168, bro. He just talking. And when I totally agree, I think Sugar Shakur is overrated because he hasn't fought anybody under 30, and I don't know when. And the funny thing about it is he talks a good game. He makes it seem like he's this and that. But to be honest with you, man, we haven't seen Sugar Shakur fight anybody of note. Oscar Valdez, Jamel Herring. I mean, those are decent names. These are decent guys, but these ain't no guys that we want to see him fight. These are no guys that we were saying, you know what? I can't wait to see Sugar Shakur versus Jamel Herring. I can't wait to see that. I don't think nobody ever said that or ever thought that. I think at the end of the day, Sugar Shakur got Jay Prince on his side. He got a great marketing team. He's a silver medalist in the Olympics. He cried like a newborn. People don't forget that. I think I got the picture of him, man. They got it. He just cried in there and made a big deal and all that good stuff. So, I mean, he did a good job crying in the Olympics, but I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see what he can do because when he got a 25% offer from Devin Haney, man, he should have took that offer. I don't know what possessed him or made him think he was too good for that offer. That's the kind of stuff that gets me, man, the self-centered arrogance of some of these fighters. Like, bro, who did you beat for you to be so arrogant? Like, you telling me off your talent? At the end of the day, bro, nobody care about your talent. People want to know, can you put butts in the seats? Can you bring a show? Can you put on a great show? Do you put on the best shows? And at the end of the day, I don't think Shakur does that. I think Shakur is one of those rare slick fighters where you can't say he's boring because he does stand right in front of his opponent. He's just very hard to hit. All I'll say is this. I'm just wondering long term, and this is me, I'm wondering long term, when he gets in there with somebody with some real power, can he handle it? Because at the end of the day, man, he ain't really fought nobody who can knock him over. And that's why I think that whole fight with him and Tank, I think that'll be Tank's only competition is maybe Sugar Shakur. Because he knocks out Devin Haney easy. Why you say that, BBO? Because if you watch the Lomachenko fight, you see all them left hands that Lomachenko was hitting Devin Haney in the mouth with. Come on, man, he's going right to bed. He get in there with somebody like, bro, he get in there with somebody like, like your boy Tank, man. Tank, he gonna be taking a shower, pause, because he can't beat him. And it's just some guys you can't beat. And I just tell you this, going on and talking about Tank as well. I want to see Tank Davis get in there with somebody with a pulse. He's been on this whole flat-footed Mexican tour for far too long. For far too long have we seen him only fight Mexican guys, only fighting styles that fit his style. At the end of the day, man, I miss the days of when guys went in there and they fought the best. Think about James Toney, Roy Jones. That fight didn't have to happen. Think about Roy Jones versus Bernard the Executioner Hopkins. These are fights that didn't have to happen. But the thing is, Roy wanted to be great. And those guys I named, whether it was Lights Out Tony or Executioner Hopkins, they wanted those big fights. They wanted that legacy. And they put on those fights. And guess what? Forever as fans, we can say we've seen these fights. These guys now, I don't know if they wait for their special moment, what the case may be. But the fact that we ain't seen a Tio versus a Devin fight, we ain't seen a Tio versus Shakur fight. I mean, come on, man. At the end of the day, man, we got to get some of these big fights, man. And I feel like we just, as boxing fans, we're not getting what we deserve. We're not getting these big fights. We haven't gotten them. I don't know why we haven't gotten them. I don't know what's the issue with it. Because a lot of these guys are on the same street, so to speak, and we still not getting the big fights. So something tells me this. If I'm not getting a fight and you on the same, quote unquote, same side of the street, what does that really mean? It means nothing more than, hey, a lot of guys are just talking. A lot of guys are just talking. A lot of guys don't want to fight. A lot of guys don't want to make it happen. I mean, at the end of the day, man, I've never seen like Teofimo Lopez. He wants to get his WBO belt back. Come on. Why is Devin Haney not calling out Teofimo Lopez? Why not? Y'all both are on top rank. I think Devin's a free agent now. But, no, you choose to fight Regis Prograde after his worst performance. And let's be honest here. Regis Prograde really is nobody. He's nobody. He knocked out 4 straight bombs, and he got handled at the end of the fight with Josh Taylor. And come on, dude, the dude ain't did nothing. He said Canelo was never the face of boxing, real talk. He said that's why Charlo gonna whoop Canelo. Hey, Derrick James, I agree with you on that. I think that salute to my brother Bruce Gas. Pull up, Bruce. I really think that Charlo's gonna be the first man to stop Canelo. And everybody know Canelo's my guy. I think he's gonna be the first one to stop Canelo. He said Regis lost to Josh Taylor too. And I'm gonna tell you this. Everybody make a big deal about Josh Taylor, beating Regis, and they say, oh, Regis should have won. No, he shouldn't have. At the end of the day, dog, if you look at the fight, Regis did good early on, and Josh Taylor beat him to death at the end of the fight. Let's just call it what we see. Let's call it what we see. Let's talk about what we want to see. Let's talk about what we see. He got beat to death, bro. Who has Regis Prograis even fought? Nobody. But the fact is this: everybody want to talk crazy about Teofimo Lopez. They want to say, "Oh, Teo's not this, Teo's not that." But guess what, man? Teo on that same resume y'all talking about. Guess what? Teo got Lomachenko, future Hall of Fame, gonna walk right into the Hall of Fame. And guess who else? Josh Taylor on those records. So say what you want. The kid's going out there fighting the best. He said, BBO the best in sports entertainment. Salute to my brother Marky Dan. I'm telling y'all, man, if I put like this, if Teo was your favorite, hold on 1 second. Marky Dan, what's going on with you, brother?
I'm
How
blessed.
you
I'm
feeling?
blessed, BVO man. I'm on vacation right now. I got to take the little ferry over to the uh, the Great Island of St. Thomas, but
Oh
I'm
yeah, that's
good,
one of
man.
my favorite places.
Yeah, bro. We took the me and my brother. We took the ferry over to St. John. We got to spend the day over there at Trunks Bay. That shit is just beautiful, man. If
Oh
you ever get
yeah.
a chance, come down, bro.
Oh yeah. I love how you get in the water, you can see all the three islands. I think you can see St. Andrews on one side, you got the other one on that side, and then you be in the middle
Yeah, my
of
guy.
the water,
It
man.
is.
Loving it. It's beautiful, man.
Yeah, bro. But let's get to
Hey,
this boxing talk, man.
so we talking about Teofimo Lopez, of course. And I think it's funny how, Devin Haney wants to call out Regis Prograis after his worst performance, the worst we ever seen him look. That's when he calls him out. Not off his best performance, off his worst performance. And I'm saying that's the type of cowardice in boxing where guys don't want to make big fights
Hmm.
because they don't want to make no money. What you think about that?
I wouldn't call that cowardice. I mean, Regis Prograis is still a great fighter, and I mean he's got great power. He's fast, great boxing skills, and that last dude he fought, that I mean, that's just one of them dudes like Sergio. What's the name of the dude that Tio fought? Sergio Martinez?
Mm-hmm.
No, no, no.
No, Martin. It was Salvador
Yeah,
Sandor Martin. Sorry, Sandor Martin.
Sandor Martin. Yeah, so that dude that Regis fought has a similar style to that. He's just awkward and elusive, and he's
Yeah.
not trying to sit down on anything, man. So it's just going to be hard. But I think Regis is going to have a better performance in the Haney fight. I think that's going to be an excellent fight, and it's going to let us know what Haney's working with at 140.
I mean,
But
I see what you're saying, but what I'm saying is this. Devin Haney talks this big game. He a star. He wants to be a pay-per-view star. He wants to see. This is my thing with boxing. Everybody want to be Floyd. Everybody want to be Pretty Boy Floyd, but nobody want to put the work in. Nobody wants to go to Vegas and fight Arturo Gotti in Vegas. Me and you understand how big Arturo Gotti was. He went to Vegas and fought him in his hometown, so to speak. I think he's from Canada,
no, it
Ontario,
was
I believe.
Atlantic City.
Atlantic City.
Floyd
Sorry,
went to his
Atlantic City.
hometown. Yeah.
Atlantic City. So he went to Atlantic City and made it happen. But you can't tell me that Sugar Shakur and Devin can't fight. Why in the world can't you tell me that won't be a big fight in the ballroom seeing Teofimo versus Devin Haney? That would be a huge fight. That would be a huge fight. I mean, these guys, I'm telling you,
Massive.
man, these guys, man, they don't want to do what it takes to be great. And Tank Davis, at the end of the day, I've never seen one guy benefit so much off another
I,
guy. Go ahead.
I can't agree with that, BBO. I think Haney and Shakur are both pursuing great. Well, no, I can't say that with Shakur after what we just been seeing about how he turned down that $8 million offer. I can't say that. But Haney, he's moving up to a different weight class. He's fighting a champion, a real good champion. And I mean, I think he plans to fight Tio afterwards. I think that's a fight they plan to have in the future. And if you
He would.
hold on, if Haney really wanted to be a coward or a BBO, he could have fought Rolly. If
Yeah, but Rolly on the other side of the street. I think that wasn't even an option. I
but
mean,
Haney,
because
no, but he was a free agent at that time, BBO.
okay, I see what you're saying. I think the funny thing is this, man. I put like this: some of these fighters, the fighters me and you grew up watching, Roy Jones. Roy Jones went after the top guy. He didn't go
Yeah,
over here or over there. He went. You didn't even have to wonder who Roy Jones was gonna fight, did you? All you had to do was know who was the
if
number one
you
or two guy.
if you
That was
had a
it.
belt, he wanted it.
Hey, You
That's
didn't
how
wear a
Roy
belt.
Jones was, man.
You didn't wear belts around Oscar, Roy Jones. You didn't wear belts around them because if you did, they're gonna take it off your waist. Even think about Jab Judah. Jab Judah went in there for I think it was Costa Zoo. Costa Zoo beat him to death. Everybody was scared of Costa Zoo at that time. People forget how good Costa Zoo was, man. You look at his son
Yeah, man. I
now.
just seen that fight the other day, BBO.
I mean, anytime I know everybody's seen the whole Cedric Entertainer thing where you know that boy Zab hopped up, said something to the ref, don't play with matches, and then
And then fell down flat on his face, man.
but dude, when you look at Costa Zoo, man, everybody was scared of Costa Zoo. Everybody was scared of Costa Zoo. Your favorite fighter was scared of Costa Zoo. Hey, my brother Super Judah said, hey, screw him. I'm gonna fight him now. Fought him and made it happen. Think about it. He lost the Baltimore and then went and fought Floyd Mayweather. Who does that? He took back-to-back losses after salute to my brother Green, like nobody fight tonight. Salute to my man, he said Gary Russell versus Shakur would have been a good fight. But hey, Derek, I think the thing that you're missing about Gary Russell versus Shakur is that I think Gary Russell's decisions outside of boxing kind of made him almost a leopard. What you think, Marky Dan?
You said Gary.
I feel like Gary Russell was blackballed. What do you think?
I do think he was blackballed. Part of it, I mean, I actually, I can't really speak for Gary. I don't know a lot about that time, but I don't know. Like Gary is just a weird dude. I mean, he had injuries. Guys didn't want to fight him. I don't know, BBO. He just had a weird career, and then he lost on an injury.
Hey, you can say he won. He beat a guy with one arm. I say this, and you know, you're the boxing historian, so you know this better than anybody. I don't think, and I'm gonna tell you this, I might take some flack for this. I don't think you'll ever see a guy that talented waste his career the way Gary Russell did. Gary Russell, and I gotta add another guy, another caveat, Boo Boo Andre. I've never seen guys waste the prime of their career and they're the best ever. I've never seen guys do this. You never see guys do this. You never see guys let money, ego, whatever the case may be, step in the way of you making that money. I don't know what these guys are doing. He said Devin and Bill, the perfect cherry picking duo. I totally agree. What you think about that, Marky?
I can't say that, BBO. Regis is a tough opponent, man. Like, yeah, I get what you're saying because he just had a really bad performance, but nah, bro. Like, that's gonna be a tough fight for Haney. It's gonna be a tough fight for anybody stepping in there with Regis. I don't see how anybody could call that a cherry picker. Like, I don't understand that.
This is the thing. You didn't fight him off his best performance. You fight him off his worst performance. Let me ask you this, Marky Dan. Did you see that guy drop him? Was Zerillo? Zerillo dropped him early in the fight, like the first round. He dropped Regis. You ever seen Martin when the dude knocked Martin out? He just as security guards. Oh, he dropped the old Otis. He dropped the old Otis, man.
But hold on. But you see that shit right there, BBO? Didn't T.O. get dropped twice by Sandor Martin?
He slipped on one and he got dropped by one. Yes.
Come on, BBO.
Hey, we gotta call what we see, bro.
Bruh, like sometimes you just have those awkward opponents. It is what it is, bro. Zarilla and Sandor Martin, they basically have the same style. Except I think Martin is a southpaw. But
Zerillo might have a little bit more power. He said Gary ain't been the same since Bud threatened to break his neck. See, there you go again. His boxing scout talking crazy, man. You know, I got to grab your chain for that, bro. You just saying that to say that. At the end of the day,
no.
At the end of the day, man, I don't know what Gary Russell was thinking. He had no chance of ever fighting Terrence at this stage in their lives. He just didn't. He said,
and that's another thing about him, BBO. He was always capping and clout chasing. Always, just always calling everybody's name out. Man, that shit used to piss me off. I don't think I ever really liked Gary, to be honest. I just said he was a good fighter because, he is really skilled, but I don't know. I don't know a lot about Gary, to be honest, BBO.
I mean,
I ain't never really watched that nigga.
You know what? I think the thing is Gary talent-wise, is everything that they say about Lomachenko, talent-wise. His talent says he can be what Lomachenko is, but he don't have the fights on his resume to verify that or to validate that claim. But his talent
Yeah.
says he could easily be a 3 division champion. But at the end of the day, he kind of got blackballed. Where you remember how Cool Boy didn't get to fight MJ. I can't remember the other guy's name, but remember how he was getting to fight all those guys at 122 and stuff. Gary had that option at 126. Nobody would touch him. Nobody would fight him. It really was almost a way of they waited till he got old, so to speak, and then that's when he got the fight with Maxeo. We all know about the shoulder injury. Before he even took the fight, my brother D Free said it best. He said, "Don't bet on me," because he knew that shoulder wasn't 100%. He said, I told Keyshawn Davis to fight EJ had to catch weight, but he's fighting scrubs out there. Keyshawn, you know what? Keyshawn is very young in his career, man. Keyshawn, Richardson Hitchens, Shoo, I think his name is Bruce Carrington. These guys, man, Tiger Johnson, these guys are young, man. Anything you hear from them, you can just ignore them, man. They just talking. He said if Dev got undisputed ducking, everybody should duck. I don't think Dev ducked anyone. At the end of the day, I think Dev kind of got a bad situation where he ended up getting the belt.
I'm breaking up, BBO.
No, you good. You good. He kind of got the belt.
Damn.
He got the belt in a real goofy way by
She's your
Tio losing to George Kambosos, who actually lost to who was his name, Maxie Hughes recently, and they gave it to him. I don't know. He said D Free, do y'all think Inoue should move up and wait? Where D Free at? I'm waiting for D Free to get on. He's doing something right now. He's about to get on. He said, honestly, to tell you the truth, I don't think Inoue will make it all the way up there. What you think, Marky? Do you think Inoue can make it all the way up to 130, 135? I think my brother cut out. I don't think he can make it all the way up there. I just don't think he can make it all the way up there. I mean, that's a lot of weight for him to get to. I just don't see him being able to make that weight and come all that way. I'll say this. I think that no matter how you put it, I think that'll be a good fight. I think that'll be a huge fight for boxing. I think it's a fight that we all want to see. But I don't think that fight will happen anytime soon. And let's be honest, he got to get through 126 and he got to get through 130 before he get there. So it's a lot of things got to happen for that fight to happen. And I'm going to tell you this, he's not fighting no Inoue in Japan. So that's another issue. He's not going to Japan to fight Inoue. So Inoue, if you even think that's going to happen, he better forget that. So that in itself is a tough fight. But that's what thing I'm telling you. Boxing, I think, is in a good place because this whole last year, and I want to give a big hand clap to the great Al Heyman, man. I really do. Because Al Heyman, CBS Sports, Steven Espinoza, everybody kept saying PBC going broke and blah, blah, blah. And look what PBC has done, putting the best fights, and I love it. He said, so was Robert Helenius on roids when Wilder knocked the dude out? Probably so. Probably so, because people don't realize that Robert Helenius had fought just a week before and knocked the guy out cold. Robert can fight, man. Robert Helenius can fight. I mean, but he's not special. He just really, to tell you the truth, Adam Kalinowski was always a scrub. And just to be honest, man, Kalinowski is always a can. What you think, Marky? Do you think he always was a can? I always think he was a can.
Yeah. I think he just got exposed. That's all.
Yeah, that's all it was. Because at the end of the day, man,
I think he had some potential. He had and I think Kalinowski had some potential. He had above average hand speed for a heavyweight. He could take punishment, but I don't know. He just hit a wall against Robert Helenius. He was winning the first fight wide, and then Helenius caught him. But then in this second fight, he just looked shot. So I don't know. Yeah. I think that it's just one of them things where you was on a meteoric and you just get caught, and it's boxing. It just happens like that.
You talking about
And
grown
you
men
don't
hitting
come
each
back
other in
from
the
that shit,
face.
bro.
You talking about grown men hitting each other in the
The
face, man. It's
heavy, we talking about the heavyweights.
yeah. So I mean, it
Shit.
happens. And remember, people forget that Gerald Washington knocked Robert Helenius out cold. So he knocked him out cold. He said ref was short, was kind of messing around out there. Yeah, he was. But I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you a secret about boxing. There's only in the heavyweight division. There's only two real fighters, and maybe a third. But it's really the real champion is Tyson Fury, and number two is Deontay Wilder. And I guarantee you, both of those guys would stop Usyk, and everybody else is about the same. It's only two real fighters in the heavyweight division right now. We all love to dream about maybe Tyson Fury fighting Jared Anderson. That's not gonna happen. Jared Anderson is just like Sugar Shakur when it comes to Tyson Fury. Just like Sugar Shakur is a meat boy for Terrence Crawford, I would definitely say Jared Anderson is a meat boy for Tyson Fury. So ain't no way that's gonna happen. He said, "Facts. I understand this Usyk hype.
Yep.
Usyk at the end of the day, he almost got stopped by Daniel Dubois, bro. Like you don't get stopped by a bum like that, bro. That's the Anthony Joshua.
He should have been stopped.
I mean,
That ref should have
but
started that count. I don't give a fuck what nobody say.
I think so too. But you know what, Marky Dan, the rules are you got to get to your neutral corner before I can make the count. That's the same thing that happened to Deontay Wilder when he got that super slow count. The rules are the rules, man. You a historian, bro. You know the rules got to be followed. They got to be followed. If you want
Yeah,
to,
absolutely.
you
I
got to
was
go to
just
your corner, bro.
I was just watching exactly. I was just watching Jack Dempsey versus Jess Willard, one of the most
Yeah,
brutal ass whoopings you'll ever see in the history of boxing. The neutral corner rule came from because Dempsey he could stand over that motherfucker, and as soon as he picked his knee off the ground, Dempsey could hit him in his face.
yeah,
Bro, that shit was
yeah.
just, it looked like a street fight. I think Dempsey was whooping his ass.
Hey, and it was a street fight.
But
And think
yeah, and,
about
that,
that.
and it's
That
the
was
same thing now. You can't just stand over niggas.
no. Get to your corner and shut up. Salute to my brother K Savoy, man, my TWT brother, man. And I just say this, man. When you come to boxing, I don't know what's up with people not want to follow the rules or think they're above the rules, but bro, you gotta follow the rules, man. But I'm gonna tell you the funny thing about this, man. It's only two champions in the heavyweight division, and
What they got to do with
Tyson
the
Fury.
what?
Go ahead.
Hey,
Go ahead.
BBO, it's a delay between us. You can hear me
It's a little.
clear?
I don't know. I can hear you. I can hear you clear. Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, okay, but yeah, I can hear you clear. I just think it's a little delay we got, but
We all good, man. We all good. I
shit.
got all the
All
bars, so we good. Hey, but I'll tell you this. This is the funny thing about
right,
boxing in
man.
general.
But
Go ahead. Listen,
yeah, but
this is
Usyk, he should have been knocked out. That damn BBO, it is a delay. Hey, go ahead. I'm gonna wait till you stop.
no. What I say is this. Oh yeah, you right. Salute to my brother A1. He said it's a lag. But I'll say this. And, you know, funny thing about talking to you about it, A1, is that when you watch boxing, man, all these years, I think the funny, overwhelming thing about it is, man, you can't predict anything because when you watch that Daniel Dubois fight, there's no way I thought he would hurt Usyk like he did. And but the thing is, if you watch Usyk, I think I can't remember, but I think it was Beterbiev stopped him in the amateurs, I believe, with a body shot. So I mean, it's always been an issue for him with the body. What you think about that, Mark?
He dropped him.
Yeah. So I mean,
It's definitely been a issue for Usyk. And if you notice, I went back and looked at just about all his fights. He always has his trunks up high. I don't think he likes it to the body. And it's evident now. Motherfucker, that's
whoa,
going to be Usyk's
whoa.
calling card now. Nigga's going right back to that spot. And BVO, every time Dubois went back to that spot, Usyk was complaining. Every time. Even when he was hitting him to his ribs, that nigga like it there.
Yeah. I say that, man. I say this. My man said just like wait 3 seconds in between talking. That should be straight. He said, "I'm here. I'm gonna be in and out, putting the kids to bed. Salute to my brother A1." He said, "Marky Dan, I heard you. I heard what he said. Marky Dan, you heard my mixtape." He said, "I've been a Bud. I did a Bud Crawford diss. You better be careful doing Bud Crawford disses because Bud will smack a fan, and Bud has proven that he'll smack a
If
fan, bro."
you
He said he'd do what?
no, I said if he actually made a tape, put it in the chat.
Yeah, put in the chat. You better take. But be careful making anything about Terrence Crawford, man. Terrence Crawford slaps people in real life. So I'm not saying to be scared. I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to say you're a punk. All I'm saying is that boy Bud Crawford slaps people in real life. So I just would be very careful make anything with his name on it because he step two, man. That's one of them kids that is step two. But that being said, Marky Dan, I tell you this. One of the fights that I really want to see, my dream fight, I don't know if we'll get it, but I would love to see Devin Haney versus Richardson Hitchens. I think that would be a terrific fight, man. What you think about a fight like that? That's more of a dream fight. I don't know if we'll get that. I don't know if we'll get that fight, but what you think about a fight like that, bro?
I think
I
I don't think the styles really match up, but I like the names. And I think Africa, he's a really good fighter. He's gonna be fighting Jose Zapata, what, like on the 23rd, I think, this month. So we're gonna see like what he's really working with a fighter at that level. Because Jose Zapata, he went in there, he gave Regis a decent fight before he got stopped. And he some wars himself. So he's experienced. But that Devin Haney fight, I don't know, man. I don't think that'd be that entertaining fight, BVO, but I can understand why you would want to see it because of the name
think
values.
not even a name value. I think, contrary to what people believe, I think Devin Haney is a very talented fighter, and I think anybody that know me, man, salute to my brother Mark Nash. Contrary to what people believe, man, I think that Devin Haney can really fight. I just think this Richard Hitchens kid is going to be the best fighter in boxing one day. I really do. I kind of worry about Africa's power because one of my brothers
Wow.
Jaja said it best. He don't have like strong power, but he does have like precise punching ability. And I'm just wondering, will that be enough when he get in there with a high level guy? That's my thing. Um, but it's a smash like button on both channels. Salute. I just don't know. You can tell me what you think, but I just think I don't know. Africa really is so talented, man. But the main thing is I don't know what's going on with the power, man. That's a huge thing for me. He said this is diss track. Oh, so I guess you about to drop this diss track. I'm telling you, Derek, I'm not joking, bro. I know this for a fact. Man. Terrence Crawford slaps people in real life, bro. So just be careful.
Yeah.
You go to the fight, you see somebody slap you in the back of the head, you might look up, it might be Bud. Oh man, I didn't know that was Bud. Yeah, it might be, man. So be careful with doing
I
that,
was
bro.
just watching a top ranked documentary today where it had Bud and his family in it. His sister was talking about how they were in school and somebody came to her and told her basically that Bud knocked out somebody's teeth and that he was in the office and that they needed to call him mom. That nigga
The
Bud is
funny thing,
different, BBO. It's not a game with that dude.
I'm gonna tell you this, man. After learning more about Bud, and I'll be honest, I didn't know much about him before the Errol Spence fight. He seemed like the most regular guy in boxing. He really does. I mean, he seems
Yeah.
like one of those rare guys that's actually just a decent dude in boxing. And I can tell you this:
Yeah.
I was going for Errol Spence. Everybody know that, but I was happy to see him win. I was happy to see Bud Crawford win because that kid deserved it. He put the hard work in, and he was able to get the prize he always wanted, and that was a big time fight against a big time opponent, and they can never take that away from him. Now you got him on Joe Rogan, you got him
Absolutely.
on the Breakfast Club. Even though I think the Breakfast Club is complete trash, but you got him on. But let's be honest. Let's go back to one thing. He was on Joe Rogan, man. Joe Rogan. All of us that do YouTube, we all hope to be like Joe Rogan, man. Joe Rogan got this stuff
Man,
on lock, man. He's the biggest nigga in the world, man. Flat out. When it comes to
yeah.
podcasts, there's not a bigger nigga in the world than him. Pause. But I
But
just think it was good for.
the main
Go
thing
ahead.
with Joe though, BBO is consistency. That's it. And he brings in the correct people to come on his podcast.
But you know, Joe felt a lot too, man. Joe felt a lot. Joe was on Fear Factor. Joe
Hmm.
was on this show, that show.
Yeah.
It took him a while to find
Hmm.
his niche. So for all those people out there that's trying to content create or want to content create, understand it's not an overnight process. Each and every day you're gonna have times where you plan for things to go this way or that way and they don't. That's life. You gotta be cool with that. Well, back to this boxing, man. I think it's kind of funny because we just still not getting those fights we want to see. And I want to ask you a question, man. Do you think the fact that Jerron Ennis plays in the ring, you think that'll catch up to him?
It could. I mean, it caught up to Zab Judah. It could catch up
Mm-hmm.
to anybody, but I don't think it will. I don't think he's gonna do that against an opponent at the level of somebody. Well, you know what? No, I'm gonna say that it could catch up to him, BBO. I mean, it could catch up to anybody in boxing when you fucking around with the wrong opponent. It's,
I mean, I think you're right. I think it's just funny because when it comes to boxing at this level, man, I think it's very, very important that you don't be playing because what you do at home shows out. I mean, everybody like to say, "Oh yeah, he doing it against guys who can't hurt him," but come on, man, he gonna do that versus the wrong guy and get put right to bed. It's a fact. He gonna do that against the wrong guy and get hurt. I really want to see Terrence Crawford versus Boots next. What about you, man?
Bud versus Boots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to see it, but shoot, I ain't gonna cry if it don't happen. So it's not one of those fights that I'm really pushing for.
um, and this person in the chat is spam, bro. So don't even answer that person in the chat. Um, but I'll say this. I'll say this, man. When it come to boxing, man, I think the funny thing is this. I don't know why. I don't know why, man. I don't know why we ain't pushing to get this Frank Martin versus Shakur fight done. You know what? Shakur should do everything. He should be willing to move heaven and earth to make this fight happen. After that BS that he pulled with Devin Haney, he should be willing to move heaven and earth to make that fight happen. And I'll tell you this, man. Sugar
No,
Shakur,
he
to me, and I
needs
could
it,
be wrong,
BBO.
huh?
No, I say he needs
Said,
it. His credibility has taken a massive hit. He needs a big fight.
I mean, the fact that he turned down $8 million, man, that says it all.
That's crazy to me. And the fact
My
dudes are
favorite thing,
trying to justify that shit. I mean, who else
that's
is
the
he gonna get $8 million against, BBO?
hey man, that's what fanboys do. Because everybody talk about, oh yeah, he gonna fight Tank gonna fight Isaac Cruz, Esau Cruz. Okay, cool. I guarantee you he'll get that same money with Esau Cruz if he fought Devin Haney. I guarantee he'll get that same money. He get that same money. I
No,
don't
he'll get
know.
more.
see, but I think the fact is this: Tank wants to path the least resistance. We gotta call what we see. We can't just say, "Oh, I don't believe that's so because I want to." At the end of the day, man, you gotta call what you see, bro. You can't play no other way. And I'm gonna tell you the funny thing. I feel like this. I would love to see Tank go and fight Tio. I think Tank versus Tio. I think that'd be the
Hmm.
biggest fight in the world, man. How many millions do you think that'd be? A million?
Absolutely. Because Tio and his pops, they're gonna gas that shit the fuck up. They might cause a riot. Oh my God. Imagine they have that shit in New York and all Tio's people come out. Then they go to Baltimore, all Tank people come out. It's wild and crazy. Hey, bro. That's a
Hey,
crazy fight, BBO. I want to see that shit. Well,
But
we
nah,
know, but man, but I ain't, bro. Come on, like that's
Tank,
wishing on a star.
Tank don't never fight nobody that you want to see him fight. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Say what you want about Tio and his drunk daddy. Hey, Tio puts on the best fights, and Tio does what he needs to do to make fights happen. And I gotta get a brother credit because me and you both know, me and you watch boxing, bro. Guys don't do what Tio does. Tio lost to
Oh,
Cambosis. He fought on Campbell. I'll give him that, which was a bullcrap fight. After he fought on Campbell, then he fought Salvador Martin. No, it was Salvador Martin. Then he fought Josh Taylor. Bro, people don't fight the best guy in the division. They just don't. And I'll tell you what, if Tank Davis had the same exact resume as Teofimo Lopez, man, that dude would be bigger. They'd be trying to call that dude God in boxing. I guarantee you
facts,
that, Marky Dan. They would be
facts.
trying to call that brother God in boxing. If he would have do any of that stuff that Tio done, and guess what? I think the thing people understand, trying to be great, get your butt kicked. Jack Dempsey lost a fight early on in his career trying to be great. And I don't understand why people don't understand, like, yo, you're going to lose fights if you want to be great. Like, I'm starting to see, I don't know if you see this too, Marky Dan. Look like Floyd Mayweather want to get his head kicked. Because all of a sudden he's trying to fight these huge fighters now. It's like, bro, do you want to get your head kicked in? I honestly believe, and I could be wrong, I think Floyd might take one more fight before he's done because just like Sugar Ray Leonard, he can't stay away from the ring. What you think, man?
Absolutely not. I think he's making way too much good money in this in his exhibition circuit fights.
Mm-hmm.
It's no way he's getting back in the ring with anybody. That's not Floyd Mayweather. You, I don't know who you think Floyd is, BBO.
Hey, what I think Floyd is what he's always been, the can man. You didn't, you
That's
don't, hey,
cap.
hey, no, how was it Cap? He fought everybody. How was it Cap? He fought everybody, Marky. You know
Oh,
that.
what you said? I thought you said can man.
That's what I say. The can man, like African, Mexican, anybody can get it. If you got a
Oh
name and
yeah,
Floyd
yeah,
and Floyd feel like he can make some money, he's gonna fight you. Because remember, Floyd fought everybody. I mean, he fought
yeah.
only
Janelle
thing is
Hernandez and Angel Manfredi, Diego Corrales, motherfucking moved up for Jose Luis Castillo, Philip Endo. Shit.
lost both fights too, and lost both fights to Castillo.
Ah man, get the fuck out of here, my nigga. He would. I
Mark,
thought he
Mark,
won both fights, nigga.
Mark,
He hurt his
Marky,
shoulder. He hurt
Marky.
his
I got
shoulder.
50 push-ups. I got 50 push-ups, bro. I got 50 push-ups. I want you to watch both fights. You know how we watch them, no sound, and tell me Floyd didn't lose both fights, bro. Watch both fights and tell me Floyd didn't lose both fights with no sound. I guarantee you, bro. You be like, he lost. He lost. Just like when I watch Ali versus Ken Norton 2 and 3. He lost those. I'll take that back. I think he won. I think he won number 2, so I'll take that back. But he lost Norton 3. You gotta just watch the fight, man. And if you watch them fights, you be like, oh, that kid did lose that fight. He did lose that fight. I think if you think about it, that's the only time you ever seen somebody really put hands on Floyd and really kind of rough him up.
The
If you
first
think
fight,
about
I will admit, it was close. Like, but Castillo wasn't really landing too many punches, but he was putting pressure on Floyd. And Floyd only had, what was it? His left shoulder was hurt. I think he could
left
only
shoulder.
throw right. Yeah, he could only throw his right hand.
Mm-hmm. And
I don't know, but he came back, and I think he outclassed him in that second fight, BBO. I didn't think that shit was close.
I'll
I
tell
don't
you,
know what you saw.
I'll tell you this, man. And the funny thing about that fight, when we talk about it, is if you remember, that's the first time we had really seen Floyd struggle. Was that fight? Because
Mhm.
really, Floyd was outclassing cats like really early on in his career. He was just going in there, piecing dudes up, having his way, easy work,
Nah, but
easy work.
he had a couple of wars, BBO, against of course the drunk master Manuel Burton, and
Yeah,
also you have a real unknown fighter. He was a world champion. Jesus Chavez gave Floyd a real tough fight in San Francisco. Floyd had to
yeah.
come back and stop that dude. He was giving him, he was putting a lot of pressure on Floyd.
Hey, I think the funny thing about the funny thing when he fought Angel Manfredi, I didn't think he would fight him either. But you know what made me laugh? Remember those Arturo Gotti versus Corrales fights was? Those were wars. It's crazy. Those was like wars, and Floyd beat both of them easy. Ain't that crazy?
Which fights? Which fights? BBO?
I'm talking about when Corrales fought Arturo Gotti. Remember how much of a war that was? And Floyd beat both of them easy. Like it was nothing. Like he just
Or
like go
Corrales
ahead.
fought Gotti, or Manfredi fought Gotti?
Man, Freddie fought Gotti. My mistake, man. Freddie fought Gotti. My mistake. Man, Freddie
Yeah,
fought Gotti.
man. Manfredi and Gotti, man, they didn't have a shot in hell. No, I mean, slow feet, slow hands, just slow everything. They didn't have a shot in hell, bro. They just couldn't compete with that speed.
Yeah, I think the funny thing that about Floyd was people forget, not only was he fast, but he was so aggressive too. So you not only could you when he was fighting guys his actual size, he was faster than you and he was hitting like bricks. So it was just a tough way to go, man.
Yeah, man. He
Hey,
beat dudes to death, BVO. Like the way how we really talk about it. Go watch his fight against what's he called? Jake Rodriguez or something like that.
hmm
Or Genaro Rodriguez, bro. Beat him to death in front of Mike Tyson. 7 rounds, bro.
I'm gonna tell you something funny. People don't realize this, but the king of New York was never Mike Tyson. It was always somebody people never bring up. Riddick Big Daddy Bo was the king of New York. Riddick Big Daddy Bo was the king of Brownsville. Was not Mike Tyson. It was Riddick Big Daddy Bo, man. Bo was Brooklyn through and through. And I'm gonna tell you this. Only reason Big Daddy Bo don't get a lot of credit is because that coward thing he did by throwing the belt in the trash with Lennox
Yeah.
Lewis and Lennox said, I'm gonna knock you out. Like I never heard nobody say they're gonna do bodily harm to somebody so calm. I'm gonna knock you out. Like
Yeah, both said, yeah, you're not the man I thought you was. You a chump.
hey,
Yeah,
that's the
man,
best
but
deflection I've ever seen in my life. You're not the man I thought you were.
but Bo, man, to me, he could have beat Tyson.
Who
He
Big Daddy
would be,
Bo?
yeah, he'd have beat Tyson.
I think
Shit.
so.
That jab, his inside work, how aggressive he was, my nigga. And Tyson faded always.
Always faded.
Tyson, and this is my opinion, BBO. I don't think he ever caught a second wind in his career. He was just a fast starter, and that's why. And it was exciting to watch. But shit, after the fifth, sixth round, Tyson was dead. And you start seeing him do shit like bending niggas' arms and hitting them behind the head and hitting them low because he frustrated.
Just a bunch of extra stuff. Salute to my brother Brian, man. What do you say? Morning, brothers. I don't know if this is true, Brian, but I want this come from D Free. D Free said you're the darkest man on the planet right now. And they said they had to take you for makeup to see why you were so black. I'm not saying that. That's what your boy D Free said. I'm just passing along the message.
What's the second channel, bro? I only got your first channel.
No, this is they talking about D Free's channel because we doing both. Salute to my brother BC though. He said I'll tell you something funny, man, that you said about Big Daddy Bo. I think Big Daddy Bo would beat Tyson Fury easy because of the body work. What you think, man?
I don't think he'd beat Tyson Fury easy. That first version of Bo, man, that'd be a tough fight. But nah, I still pick Tyson Fury. I just
I'm
think
talking about
Fury is
the
the
Bo
better
that beat
boxer
it.
too.
The Bo that beat Evander. That's what I'm talking about. That Bo. That version of Bo that beat Evander. That's what I'm
Yeah, that's
talking
what I'm thinking about. Shit, but you also got to think about it, man. Tyson Fury, he's bigger than Bo. He's longer than him. He's got a pause. He's got a better jab than Bo.
about. That was crazy.
Man, get out of here, nigga.
That was crazy.
And Tyson Fury is a better counterpuncher than Bo.
Yeah, Yeah. Hey.
Now on the inside, Bo does throw better combinations, but I just think Tyson Fury is so strong. He would know how to control Bo's arms to where Bo wouldn't be able to let go of combinations like how he wants to, or like how he did against Evander Holyfield.
Yeah. That's a good point because I think the thing that really is funny about Tyson Fury is that the kid's born to box, man. He's born to box, and you can tell he's born to box just off how he does things. Because I'm gonna tell you what, Deontay Wilder would beat a lot of guys with that hellacious right hand that he has, bro. He would beat a lot of guys. He'd beat a lot of your favorite guys from the past. He really would. Um, at the end of the day, man, the fact that Tyson Fury, he said, I woke up when he got up from his nap and he seen that there was at 8, he got up, man. I'm telling you, bro, Anthony Joshua wouldn't have got up from that. Dillian White wouldn't have got up from that. Nobody would have
Nope.
got up from those punches, man. So I think Tyson Fury is like a cyborg or something, man, because this kid, man, is
Nah,
terrific, man.
that's
He's
just
terrific.
it's just a different level of heart and will. It's like what we talk about with Holyfield and
Yeah,
Muhammad Ali, guys that can just take like superhuman levels of punishment and come back. Like those are the greatest fighters. And I know people like to shit on Tyson Fury. Yes, obviously what happened with Ngannou,
hmm
but when you can show that level of heart and will to fight back, man, you gotta respect it.
yeah. I mean, I think the thing about Tyson Fury, you just hit it right on the head, bro. He's just not liked. But you know what? Guess what? You don't like a
He's
lot
not
of
like
people
a
don't like him.
bull. That's the problem, BBO.
I wouldn't say he's not likable because I like Tyson Fury. I just hate when he say the stupid stuff. I like Tyson Fury. There's only one Tyson Fury. I like Tyson Fury, bro. I like Tyson Fury, bro. Even though he stole that line from Floyd Mayweather, people don't know that Floyd was the first one to start saying that. One of my favorite times in boxing, Marky, Dan, hear me out, was when my man Tyson Fury, pause, came into the ring with that preacher suit on, and I like he about to take everything off and beat Deontay out of water right then. I'll never forget that, bro. I'll never forget that. What he said, what
Crazy.
that boy Deontay Wilder said, I'll come across the pond and fight you, my man. I'll come to your backyard, my man, and fight you. That's what Tyson Fury threw his coat down.
Never.
Once I get done with Klitschko, I'm gonna knock out the basketball player. You can't tell me that brother.
Hey,
You can't tell me that brother is not entertaining, bro. That brother's entertaining, bro.
man, his
When he
wordplay
say
is on another level. I can't lie about it. It's just when
he
he be
let
capping.
he let me know that Deontay Wilder's not no good talker because he was just talking circles around him. What he say? So you worship spirits, Deontay? You worship so basically he said, so basically you worship stuff that's not real. I worship Jesus Christ. You worship spirits, Deontay? Just little stuff like that where say what you want, man. Tyson Fury is very great for boxing. I just don't like some of his moves as some of us don't. Because at the end of the day, he likes fighting slow guys with bad feet. That's what he likes to fight. And that's exactly what Dillian White was. That's exactly what Klitschko was. Because I'm going to tell you something funny. Vitaly Klitschko is the most talented Klitschko brother. And I mean that, bro.
Fact.
I mean
No,
that, bro.
no, I agree.
And I'm gonna tell you what, if Vitaly wouldn't have got cut, I think he was cut to the bone. If he wasn't cut to the bone like that, Marky Dan, we all know he's about to beat Lennox easy. He was beating Lennox head in, bro. And so Lennox came out there with that goofy punch and opened that eye. Man, that eye was pouring like water, bro. He was cut like a pig. He
Yeah.
said, you like that controversy, BBO. He's a dishonorable guy. No, BC. I'm just saying, you gotta be honest, bro. That dude, Tyson Fury, is hilarious, man. Like Nick Cannon. Like this dude is hilarious, man. Who you know go up there and say, I'll beat both of you. I'll beat both of you the same nights. I'll beat both of you guys. I'll beat both of your bombers. You Dasa, you big Dasa. I'll beat both of you
The
because
big Dawson.
he
There's not
said,
a man born from his mother that could beat me.
hey, this
Man.
will make me laugh about Tyson. Tyson Fury gonna cuss everybody out and then get in the ring and say, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I mean,
Crazy.
He called Deontay everything but a child of God, and then got on the end talking about I want to thank Jesus.
Hey,
That boy
that,
crazy, man. He
hey,
said,
yeah, Tyson Fury crazy for real. BBO, you see, he was sitting down with Klitschko. They were doing a face to face for the build up for their fight, and he was basically saying that like him and Klitschko were in the sauna together, and everybody left the sauna, and he stayed in there with Klitschko to see who was last longer. And that nigga Klitschko is laughing his ass off, saying he don't remember shit about what happened. But and the nigga Tyson Fury said Klitschko folded. Hey, that dude crazy, man.
hey, he said Vitaly was definitely better than Vladimir. Vitaly was the meaner of the two. Vitaly Klitschko really got held back because of his brother. And I'm telling you, that's what happens when you.
Nah.
That's what. No, I'm just saying he should have been undisputed. Is what I'm saying. He should have been undisputed. That's what I'm saying. Now. He said,
Oh well, yeah. But the thing with Vitali is, yeah, he had other things outside of boxing. He was also a doctor and a professor at a university, and
yeah, so
he later went on to become like a senator and then the
yeah.
mayor.
No, I think
But not
Vladimir's the mayor. Vladimir's the
no no
mayor.
no no
Not
no no.
is that
Vitali
Vitaly?
is
Oh,
the mayor.
Vitaly's the mayor. Oh, okay, my mistake.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
No, but
because that.
I think that Vladimir was the more talented brother. But the thing is, when he got knocked out and he realized that he couldn't take punishment like that, he had to change his style. So he stopped throwing real power punches. He stopped throwing hooks altogether. That was over with. It was just jabs and right hands.
Hold on one second. I don't know. I think your boy D Free is doing something. He said, "Man, where the F is D Free at? Because this is definitely some Skip Bayless 2.0 stuff. You a goofball."
Get the fuck out of here, nigga.
He said, "Salute. I can't believe I've been listening to this man. I've been away from the phone, waiting to throw my phone in the ocean before."
Hello, L.
A1, A1, you a goofball, bro. All I can tell you is this, bro. I got nothing but love for you. You're my older brother, and I love you, man. But don't take sides against the family. Please don't do it.
The
Hey, but the funny thing is this, man. The
two of
thing
y'all
is,
petty as shit, man. When y'all gonna end that feud?
A1. A1's a bully, man. A1's a bully, man. He's like the guy Harold from Hey Arnold, man. He just won't leave me alone, man. I don't know why he won't leave me alone. He just won't leave me alone, man. What do you say? Salute. I'm gonna tell you this though. I'm gonna ask you a serious question, Marky Dan. Did Tyson Fury cheat, in your opinion, in any of his fights?
um, I know at least one fight. They're saying he had elevated levels of testosterone, and
Mm-hmm.
he was exposed for paying off a farmer to say that he was eating horse meat. So at least one fight, I know he was doing some weird shit. So yeah,
But you know what? I give you that. I give you that. But when I hear people talk about he had gloves and he had the great Mark Breland spike Deontay's water and you just hear all this stuff. I mean, it never came from Deontay Wilder. It came from like YouTube. But people on YouTube was like, "Oh, his suit was too heavy." Man, he just got beat to death, bro. And I'll be
yeah.
honest, if you watch the first fight, man, Deontay Wilder should have took that draw and went on with about his life. Because at the end of the day, bro, he got smashed, bro. He said, BBL, you older than me. I don't know how old you are, A1. I thought you was 34, 35. I'm 33. He said, everything gravy, bro. What's up with the kid? Okay. He said, Fury got knocked out with an extended count. What the F you mean? MF was asleep for at least 14 seconds. Guess what?
Damn.
Guess what? Buster Douglas was asleep for 13 seconds and Mike Tyson ain't get the count. At the end of the day, I don't know why these guys don't go to their neutral corners like they're supposed to. I hated that count that Jack Reese gave. That was the worst count I've ever seen in my life. What you think, man? Go here. Come here. Go to the store, buy me a Dutch, come back. I'm like, bro, what are y'all doing? But they gave him every chance in the world. He said, no, it was a wild boar meat, which the UK didn't have, don't have. I've never heard of no wild boars in the UK, bro. Like, that's the stuff that's crazy. But that's the stuff Tyson Fury do, man. He just, I don't know. He's too good for his own good because all he want to
He's a
do is
weirdo.
yeah, he
Just
be
say it
trying to
like it
like
is, man.
yeah. He's a weird guy, man. This is the only dude I ever seen. Y'all. I don't know if y'all remember when they were showing Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, and he up there blowing kisses at Deontay while he's sitting with his brother. I mean, at the end of the day, that boy Tyson Fury is a deviant, man. That's a Dennis the Menace type of guy, bro. He's just a deviant, man. He get a kick out of picking with people. Just like I don't know if y'all ever
Yeah,
heard the
yeah.
story. He used to pee on Dillian White's leg. It's like, and thought it was the funniest stuff you ever heard. So, I mean, it is what it is. He said,
I think
no,
we all grew up with a Tyson Fury, though.
we all didn't grow up with a deviant like him. Just a
Yeah,
just a
man.
little jerk.
Just a
So
knucklehead.
he said, getting settled now. Okay, he talking about something with the kid. He said, then Jack Reese woke Fury up with his cheek. He said, BBO, we the same age, and you only got me by a year or two. He said, A1 noticed they ain't say nothing about Jack Reese waking Fury up. I think he did wake him up. I always say that. Get up, you about to lose. Get up. I work with this dude. I used to work with this dude, man, when I sold cars. And he was like, man, Deontay Wilder almost knocked him out. I was like, duh. Like you can't just walk up on Deontay Wilder like that. But I'll say this. Deontay Wilder really did get better in that third fight. That second fight beating he took, we just got beat like he stole something, pulled the post. Now people talk about Errol Spence got beat up. No, at the end of the day, they had Deontay Wilder bleeding from his ear, his nose. I mean, he looked like he was almost unrecognizable in that second fight.
Nah, Earl Spence got beat to death. Just like you say, BBO, he got beat to death.
Hey, let me ask you this. There's a couple people in the chat that said that Earl didn't get carried. What you think about that? You think Earl got carried in that fight or no?
Um, man, I don't know. It's tough to say. I really feel like Bud could have finished it earlier if he had stepped it up. But that's my opinion. I don't know that.
Hey, I think it's funny because no matter how you play it or how you say it, man, I just think he just took it easy on him, man. I do. Because I don't know. At the end of the day, you could say Errol Spence could have hit him back with something hot, but Errol Spence, like he was breathing hard. I mean, he just looked like he was done, bro. Looked like he had just been in the remember they had all that big long line for the Popeye chicken sandwich? Like he had been in the Popeye chicken sandwich for like 2 years, bro. Like he just looked beat
Oh,
and battered, bro. It was just over, man. Uh, I just say this, man. I just never seen nothing like that, man. Where a guy just get beat up like that bad. It was rough, man. What do you say? My man, Mass Man, he said he didn't get beat to death. Calm down. He did get beat to death, man. He said, no, he got carried. Who cares? We'll make a difference when he whooped him convincingly. That's because BBO watching boxing through drunk goggles. Hey, I understand that you drink Wild Irish Rose, bro. I don't drink none of that stuff, bro. I don't drink that stuff. That brother got a belly full of Wild Eye and he hot on some K2, so he talking crazy, man.
how does this end? Do y'all gotta meet up and have a duel? Shit.
Hey, he just one of those dudes, man. He like a Dexter. He like Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory. He won't let that go. He said he didn't carry him. He just didn't finish him because he didn't need to. He was taking his time. He
But
said, y'all
that's
realize,
weird though, Mask Man, because like the Bud Crawford I know, when he has somebody hurt, he like Bud turns into a demon. Like Bud says to himself, he gotta go. Like he's on top of you. So I don't know. I don't know why he would hold back with if he think
because like after the fourth round, I think Spence was finished.
Yeah,
He
I
didn't have
think
an answer.
I think it was the same thing. He said, y'all realize Bud was so sharp because he knew that he was there against who he was there against, and he approached it knowing EJ a threat, but Bud did his him everything. You right about that. He said, I don't know what it is,
I
bro.
mean,
He said, man,
I mean, of course, it's boxing. Every fighter is a threat, but that's
what
just
he
the
said,
thing.
what he said, man, I'll beat the brakes, rotors, and tires off BBO. Straight watch. At the end of the day, man, you know what I'm gonna do, A1? I'm gonna come knock the squeegee out your hand when next time you wash the windows in the middle of traffic, bro. I'm gonna come in there and just smack the squeegee out your hand, bro. That's what I'm gonna do. On God, I'm gonna come up to you, man, knock the squeegee right out your hand, bro, and you're gonna miss your next tip. He said, Bud knows that type of fight he's in. He's not trying to get caught trying to finish Earl. He already had it figured out. I mean, that could be true. He probably had him already figured out. But what I'm saying, Mass Man, is this: I've never seen Bud Crawford take his time with anybody. If you heard, he's about to get you out of there. He's about to get you out of there. I mean, fast, quick, and in a hurry. He said, even if you look at Crawford's earlier knockouts, he's usually not going for the finish unless he knows for sure you're absolutely done. He usually gets later round knockouts. I agree with that. He said, go back and watch the issue with the mouthpiece drop and look Earl on Earl's face. Ugas didn't even punch that hard. Earl had some look after that knockdown in the second round again, but
I agree.
he did. I just think at the end of the day, man, I don't think that Earl had ever been in there with somebody that strong either. That's a big deal.
And I think he was, and I think in both situations he was just trying to put up a poker face that he was all right, but nah, he was fucked in both
Yeah,
situations. Okay.
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, bro, when you get in there with somebody like that, man, it's not hard to lose, man. And I'm gonna just be honest with you. EJ didn't look the same versus Ugas, if you ask me. I mean, he kind of showed
Nah,
against Danny Garcia that he couldn't come in and out of his stance like he used to. And there's nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, man, maybe EJ got old. Maybe he got tired of crashing cars. I don't know what it was. You can never speak on what happened because, hey, let's be honest here. EJ made some goofy decisions, bro. Driving drunk, getting thrown out of cars, man. Getting hit by
yep.
high schoolers in cars, man. The brother, I put like this: if EJ didn't have bad luck, he wouldn't have no luck at all.
I
He's just
heard
that
his
type of dude.
I heard his girlfriend whooped his ass and hit him with her car.
I don't know about that. Of course, my brother Marky Dan knows some foolishness like that. Of course, my man. That's why I always say
We
about my
were
brother
watching it.
Marky.
We were watching it on Q's
You
channel,
have
bro.
to
I'm dead
stop. Y'all
serious.
keep talking. Huh? You keep talking, man. And you shut the fuck up. Huh?
Is a no good, lousy son of a bitch. Hey! That's exactly what he is. Is a no good, lousy son of a.
What did he say? He said, I'm beginning to think there's more damage from the wreck than we're told. Of course there is, bro. Of course there is. The dude got thrown from a car, Willie. Come on, bro. Who you know get
Yeah.
thrown from a car is gonna be the same? Nobody, bro.
Who you
You're
know
not
that lose
Superman.
the whole row of teeth that be the same?
The brother was supposed to eat soup for the rest of his life. All them fake teeth in his mouth. He got like 10 of it. You only got 32 teeth. About, I think, at least 15 of Errol's teeth is fake. So, I mean, come on, bro. He's not going to be the same getting into all the accidents like that. He said he got caught with a good shot. It happens. He said Earl wasn't listening to DJ's instructions, what could be neurological damage. Man, he never listened to EJ. I mean, never listened to DJ, bro. He never listened to
Nah,
DJ.
it ain't that William old school.
No, I'm gonna tell you this. DJ every fight, I don't care what fight it is, Derrick James look pissed because his fighters don't never listen to him, man. They never do. The only one who may listen to him is Jamel. And that's why
Yep.
Jamel looks so dominant. But nobody listens to DJ, bro. They do not. They don't. He said, the same PT. He said the same PTB let Ali fight Larry Holmes. Yeah, I can see what you're saying. He said I knew he said I knew these excuses were going to come. He just said himself that he was ready to go and going to dismantle Crawford. He said I see his weird day Saturday here in the goofy ish and talking about drinking and domestics. Y'all niggas weird. At the end of the day, man, forgive my brother A1, man. His parents are cousins, man. So he going through a lot. He just found that out. And
Damn,
also, man, he's smoking nothing but
country ass
K2 all
nigga.
day. Smoking nothing but K2 and Primos, man. This is a dude who does blunts and Primos. So forgive A1. That's my big brother, man. He going through something, man. But he's smoking nothing but dust blunts and Primos all day. But back to boxing. I'm gonna ask you something, man. I really want your honest opinion, man. Do you think that Inoue is gonna clear out 122 and 126?
Yes,
So you think he can beat Brandon Figueroa?
yes.
You don't think
I'm
Brandon will be too
certain
big?
he could beat Brandon Figueroa. Brandon
You,
Figueroa leaves his chin exposed too much.
I think Brandon man might be too big for him, but I could be wrong. He said, who y'all got winning? Mel versus Canelo. I got Mel. Who you got, bro?
I got uh I got Mel.
Yeah, I got Mel. He said, I bet BBO can't complete a sentence without taking a breath. That's like me saying 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 A1 don't look like Elmo, bro. You look like Elmo. Of course you gotta breathe when you talk, you crazy dude. Like I don't know if y'all ever seen
What the
Squidward.
fuck?
I don't know if you ever seen Squidward from SpongeBob, but put that with like some curly sponge hair and a light skinned face, and that's my brother A1, man. And A1 wear FUBU shoes all the time too, so it is what it is. He said, in a way is great. Yeah, I think in a way is great, but I'm gonna tell you this: I don't think he's great enough to fight no fighters, man. Um, he just stand at going up to these higher weight classes. I think he can do 126, but I think 130, 135 is what he's gonna struggle at. Because remember,
Nah, BBO.
why you say that?
That is just a that is just it's just the mix of both the just God given ability. I mean, if you watch that Fulton fight, he was just bouncing and moving, all over the ring, fast. Fulton couldn't keep
Mm-hmm.
up with him, and he was just beating. Oh my God, that dude is different. He could move up to
He
130.
said,
I don't know about 135, bro, but he could go to
"Yeah,
130 and win some titles.
you think he can beat Navarrete? You think he can beat somebody like Navarrete though? That's the question. Can he beat Navarrete? I don't
Yes,
know.
I think
With those long arms,
he
I
has
don't
the
know.
boxing ability and the skills to expose somebody like Navarrete and the IQ.
He got them long arms, bro. He said, but real talk, y'all brothers weird still mentioning that goofy ish. That is old and dead. Bud did his thing. Congrats to the team. It's hard to say that. I get what you're saying, A1. I mean, we gotta talk about it, man, because at the end of the day, man, they got people out here talking about that Bud is cheating and all this good. I've actually heard people try to accuse Bud Crawford, skinny Bud Crawford, of using steroids. Come on, bro. He said, I got Canelo by slaughter and I like Mill. I don't know.
Nah,
Canelo is not a big guy, Pauls, and Canelo ain't really knocked nobody out in years, man. Like brutally. I'm talking about brutally. Like it's been a long time since he went in there and really beat somebody to death, man. He just hasn't done it in a while. He probably can win, but I don't see it. I just don't. I think my man MC Gusto, aka Mill, is gonna get in there and beat him. He said A1. He said A1. I ain't talking nothing, taking nothing away from Bud, but he did his job well. Period. But I'm not going to say that Bud beat the best version of Spence. Navarrete is a hard fight, and I like. Hold on one second. I thought somebody came. He said Navarrete is a hard fight. I like Inoue as well. I'm not confident in Inoue winning that fight. Man, Heggs and all, y'all talking about stuff, nothing to do with boxing though. Bud whooped the brakes off EJ and now EJ wants his get back in blood. Let's see how the rematch turns out. I get what you're saying, but you
Yeah,
know
that's
what?
about how I feel about it.
Hey, at the end of the
And
day,
I,
bro,
and I don't give that nigga EJ no excuses. You said you were in the best shape of your life going into that fight.
he did. He did. And he
So you
said,
can't cut. So you can't now come and say, "Oh, I had this and that going on with me." Like fuck that. It's the biggest fight of your career. You said you this is the best camp of your career. So you got to go in there in your best shape. But what that proved was at your best, Bud Crawford simply just whooped your ass. It just is what it is, man. I don't get these weird dudes with this shit, BBO. Try to come out and say, "Oh, it was a car wreck." And what else? It was neurological issues and nah, bro. I don't like
hey,
Bud
I feel
Crawford
like
is just a bad dude.
I'm gonna
That's
put it
the
like
type
this, man.
of dude
I feel
you don't want to see that nigga. You don't want to be alone with that nigga in a fucking dark alley in the middle of the night. Absolutely not. You better have a gun, something.
he looks scary, bro. He look like a scary little dude.
Yeah, bro. Imagine seeing that nigga pop out from behind a trash can or some shit.
You gotta get him. He said, I just want to see
You
the
look like a
best.
gremlin, bro.
He said, I want to see the best fight the best. I agree with that, A1. I really be honest and tell you the truth. I don't want to see Errol fight him. I want to see Boots fight. I want to see Boots or Keith Thurman fight Terrence Crawford. I just do. I would love to see Terrence Crawford and Keith Thurman. I think that'd be a great fight to me. He
Yeah, I
said,
like the the two fights at this point I like to see for Bud would be either Boots or Tim Zoo if he can't get the Canelo or Charlo fight. But
yeah,
that's it.
he not getting any of those fights. He said, I think a lot of people agree with you, but yeah, you're right. A lot of people in the YouTube street saying that weird stuff. I'm just telling you, man. Hey, that's what we here to do, man. We here to entertain, have some fun, and tell you what we see. What I'm seeing is I'm seeing a lot of guys out here lying about Bud, trying to say that Bud did things he would never do. But
Ma-
I'm gonna tell you, he respects the game too much to even do that type of stuff. You could just tell. I mean, he don't. I don't even think the man even drinks, smokes, does anything, bro. He respects the game too much to mess around and do something stupid like cheat the fans with a drug. He wouldn't do that. Go ahead, Marky.
But no, I just wanted to respond to Masked Man. I could tell that he's a real informed boxing fan. But the thing is, Mel has the skills. He has a great jab and he has real good footwork. He could stay at long range out of Canelo's punching range. So he does have the ability to win that fight. And he himself is a real big dude. He just shrinks down to 154. I think he could win that fight, but he has to stay at the right distance.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Y'all can't be serious. Melda's moving up 2 weight classes. He's like arguably the number one pound for pound boxer for the last 5 years. Ah, come on, man. He's not number one, bro. He is not.
Nah.
He said, and someone knocking out Jamel is not like him. Um, he said, Marky, EJ hasn't said a word. He been people were making excuses out of here, out of nowhere. The man himself not saying though.
Mm,
That's the thing. Every fighter always say, I'm the best shape of my life. That's true.
that's true. Yeah.
He said, I carry a 45 mad, old, dirty, hairy, long barrel, and nobody better run up on me in that. Hey, Willie, man, we ain't talking about hurting nobody, you
It's over with.
goofball.
It's over with when you're talking about Willie.
Yeah, Willie a goofball, man. He want to hurt somebody, man. He's scared.
Nah,
He
that's
said,
my
I don't want to
OG.
see. He said, I don't ever want to see Thurman fight again unless he fights Boots. And the reason I want to see that fight is since Thurman gets, he said, in hell by Boots. Hey, I don't know about that, bro. I think any fight when you're talking about a guy like Keith Thurman would be great because Keith Thurman is very skilled, man. Let's not play like Keith Thurman is a bum, man. Keith
BBO
Thurman is
stop.
very skilled.
BBO stop. BBO
Keith
stop.
Keith Thurman ain't
BBO
skilled.
stop.
Keith
Listen,
Keith
Listen, you're not wrong, BBO. Keith Thurman is skilled. How many times in the past? Look, I think he's fought what 7 times in the past 5 years.
I mean, he's very inactive,
Okay,
bro. I mean, that
man, and these past 3 fights, BBO, he's been getting hurt. Like against Barrios, then against Pacquiao, then the fight before that against Rocky. Like, man, if they put him in there with Boots, it's over with. That young man is gonna kill him.
Max, man, what's up with you, my brother?
What's good, Mass man?
Not much, man. How y'all doing?
Doing good, man.
Yeah, man, I'm safe.
Yeah, man. Thank you for bringing me on, man. I appreciate it.
So,
What you got on it?
what you got on that fight, man? What you think? Boots versus Keith Thurman.
Uh, Boots all the way. Only reason I want to see that fight is just I just want to see him beat the brakes off of Keith Thurman. I just want him to really annihilate him, give him like a slow death, death by 1,000 cuts type deal.
Golly.
Yeah, I don't like
Why?
Keith Thurman if you haven't noticed.
Why?
What you mean, why?
I want Marky to answer this because I think he has a good he has
No,
a good answer.
there's
Why don't you like Keith
innumerable
Thurman?
reasons to dislike Keith Thurman. What you mean? I mean,
Very
holding up the
multiple
undisputed,
reasons. Very
dunking
multiple
Earl
reasons.
Spence. Like, come on, bro. All this inactivity. He always talking shit, but don't ever fight nobody, man. Get the fuck
Exactly. I
out of here.
can't fucking stand that dude, man. Like, and people always be like, "You can't take nothing away from Keith." I'm like, "Yes, the fuck I can." He's a fucking idiot,
Max, man, how? He fought Danny
bro.
Garcia
This
and
dude.
Sean
Let's
Porter.
put. Okay, let's go back to the very beginning. I'm gonna try not to go too long. Now, if you look at when Keith Thurman first started, he was somebody I actually like, right? When Maidana beat Adrian Broner and then ended up giving Floyd Mayweather one of the hardest fights of his career, and then end up rematching him and still giving him a hard fight. The only person who called out Maidana was Keith Thurman. I don't think there was anybody else around the time that wanted to fight Maidana, right? And even though there was like some people that were like trying to go ahead and just get the Mayweather belt, although Keith Thurman wanted it, he still called out the person that made Mayweather fought. Eventually, he got into a point where he was just, he said he said he was trying to go for the undisputed. He was trying to get the belt, trying to be unified. You better not duck me, son. That Keith Thurman, right? He became unified, beat Sean Porter, even though he kind of ducked Sean Porter for a little bit, and then came back, beat Sean Porter, and then fought Danny Garcia. And then, like, he wanted to say, I'm putting up air quotes, you can't see me, that the fight with Errol Spence and him never really came to fruition because, he wasn't really offered anything, or it just didn't line up correctly, which I don't really believe. Errol Spence has also confirmed this, but I think Errol Spence is just saying this just because he wanted to stall a fight out purposely so he can get more money. Or at least he wanted Keith Thurman to be the last person he fought before he fought Crawford. Now, after that, this fucking idiot, took a long time. I get it. He had a car accident. He had the elbow injury and stuff like that. Talking shit, saying he's gonna come back and beat the best, stuff like that. Took a long ass hiatus, came back saying he's gonna retire Pacquiao. He's going to beat him. Oh, he's an old man. He's a has-been. He's going to retire Pacquiao. End up getting retired by that same guy. You fucking clown. So, end up getting his ass beat by Pacquiao. Comes back to fight Mario fucking Barrios of all people, and then you want to sit here and shit on fighters like Nadia Inoue for not being PvP, even though he's doing shit that you haven't. Like, get the fuck out of here. I don't like this guy at all. I just really want to see Boots just dismantle this guy. And I get the feeling of course, he's not going to take the fight because he's a fucking coward. But I really want to see that fight. I would just make me so. It'll make me feel better, basically.
Yeah, you sized it up perfectly.
Hey, and I gotta tell you this, bro. And you my brother, and I love you, man. But dog, that sound like hate, man.
It is.
Oh, I'm cool with that.
It is.
I'm cool with that. I'm absolutely okay with that.
I'm gonna tell you this, man. Keith Thurman's the first liar we met in boxing. Are you serious? They all lie, bro.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they do. Like, don't get me wrong. It pisses me off that they lie so much. But however, I think Keith Thurman, he breaks one of those fundamental rules where I'm just like, I can't respect you at all.
I get it, but it's like, bro, man, what you think about? Think about
if there's
Floyd
any
there.
if there's anybody that like, of course, there's a lot of boxers I really dislike. Um, if there was anybody, I would say at the top of the list as far as people you have plenty of reasons to hate, and it's not even for the for the reasons like Floyd Mayweather. That's like, don't get me wrong, Floyd Mayweather's an ass, so I don't really like him as a person either. But there was a lot of
Mhm.
reasons while he was fighting. If you discount the bullshit of outside the ring, of reasons to hate him, but in the sense that you love to hate him, you know what I mean? It was kind of like something in a good sport. Like, oh my God, I bet money on Floyd Mayweather and I lost it because I really thought he was gonna lose this fight. He ended up taking my money. I don't like betting against this guy. It was somebody that you love to hate. Keith Urban is not a guy I don't love to hate. I just hate him. I don't like him at all. I don't like his character. I don't like his I don't like the way he carried himself at all.
I feel you, man. Salute to my brother. He said, my boy Willie said, Mario Barrios made Thurman look average. Salute to my man, Basement Boxing Talk, man. Pull up, man. I've been trying to talk to you all night. Pause. He said, BC said,
What's
wow.
that a pause, BBO? Like I don't get you, man.
Hey, man, that's how we talk, man. He said, dang, this dude want to see Keith Thurman lose his ponytail and hey, hey, man, I'm gonna tell you the funny. See, that's the thing about Keith Thurman, man. Keith Thurman is one of those dudes where he talk a good game and he just don't back it up. But I'll tell you this: he fought Pacquiao with no drug test. Because think about it, when Pacquiao fought Adrian Broner, he kind of looked old. But when he fought Keith one time Thurman, he looked like Pacquiao again when he was back on the steroids. So I don't know. I'll just say this: I don't like how he did the stuff with EJ. I thought that was corny. I totally agree with you on that. But let's be honest here, man. EJ could have did some things different too, man. The fact that EJ fought
Hmm.
Mikey Garcia, bro, come on, man, that's a joke. That's a joke. You know that's a joke. The way he beat Lamont Peterson like that, that's another joke. So I mean, at the end of the day, man, it's a lot of boxers we can talk about that need to do better. Like I'm gonna ask you this real quick. What y'all think about David Benavidez, man? The Mexican
I
monster,
like him.
whatever. Let me
I
ask you
like
this.
him. Go ahead.
Why did he duck Baturbiev then? Why did he want to fight Baturbiev? When he lost his belt on the scales, the WBC, Mauricio said, I'll give you a shot against Arthur Baturbiev. Why did he take that fight? What was that about?
Probably was
I
afraid of
mean,
him.
that's not his weight class, BBO. Come on now.
That's not either. Yeah, I just wanted to ask that because I kind of took a little hiatus from boxing. I know the last person he fought was Caleb Plant, but did he move up in the meantime? I,
No, he's still at 168. He's about to fight Demetrius Andrade.
okay, yeah, and that's why I was. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, what I'm saying is I think he's gonna get stopped though. I think Demetrius is gonna stop him. What do you think?
You serious, Mike? Oh my goodness! Like you remember that? You remember that list I told you? There's a list of guys that like most hateable fighters in boxing. Demetrius Andrade is on top of that list too. Um, but even if I'm putting apart my bias for a second of the people I just really don't like Demetrius Andrade, I still don't see him beating David Benavidez. I never did, honestly, even when he was in his prime. He's just he like it, he's one of those fighters that on the surface looks like he's the next big thing, but he's really not. Like, don't get me wrong, he has skills, but not enough skills to where he's beating people like David Benavidez. Like, you're talking about Caleb Plant, one of the most like as far as the one of the best pure boxers we have at 168 is Caleb Plant, and he couldn't beat David Benavidez. Like, I have a very hard time seeing Demetrius Andrade beat David Benavidez. Like, why? Because he's long and he's a southpaw. I mean, so what
Whoa,
is that?
whoa. No,
I mean,
no. I'm gonna
oh
tell
my goodness.
Well,
I'm
well, what you
what
got?
I'm
But
saying.
not only that, Mask Man, you also got to think about David Benavidez's feet. I don't think he has the feet to corner, or really the skills to corner Demetrius Andrade. And with a fighter like Andrade, he's gonna just pop you from the outside. He's not really gonna give you shit to throw at. But the thing I don't like about
Here,
Andrade, and the reason why I think he could lose that fight, is because he stays at the same pace the whole fight, and eventually it's gonna be a spot in there where Benavidez sneaks a shot, and I already know. Yeah, I
see,
see
this is the thing
Benavidez
that
winning that fight.
see. Here's the thing. I think sometimes people get it confused because they look at certain fighters and they kind of like to adapt certain traits to fighters that they don't really have. I've seen a crap ton of Demetrius Andrade fight because I remember there was a certain guy I used to talk with boxing with, and he was super high on Demetrius Andrade. How he's so slick, he's so skilled, and he can beat you coming backward. He can walk you down, I know a lot of people kind of like hype him up from like certain fights. I watched a ton of his film. He's not that much of a lateral mover as people think he is. Like if you want to talk about somebody who's actually a lateral mover, it was Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant could move very laterally, very well, very and not in the sense that it was like wasted movement. Like he didn't have a lot of movement that was wasted. It was the guy who can actually back up, get off the ropes, get off this corner, get out this corner. If you look at David Benavidez fight, he had a hard time locating Caleb Plant because he was so elusive and he was so quick on his feet. That's actually a guy who's actually fleet of foot, who can get out of corners, who can walk you into shots, who can get out of sticky situations because he has very great lateral movement. But Demetrius Andrade, like there's so many times that like I'll never forget the fight when he fought Jack Colque. And I was like, there's certain points where you should just spin and move out. But he was having a very hard time doing it. Don't get me wrong, Jack Colque put up a very good fight against Demetrius Andrade, but I'm like, you're making this way harder than you need to. Make your shot, step out, and then get out. But he couldn't. He was so stuck in the mud, and I was just like, I think the jury is still out on him having so much lateral movement that people keep hyping him up.
I think what it is man, what we've seen in the amateurs. And to be honest with you, with Demetrius, he looks like he's so good, and we've never even seen him in a hard fight yet, to be honest. So there was a time, I don't know if you remember, when Demetrius Andrade was trying to fight AJ, and he felt like he seen something with AJ. He felt he could have beat him. Same thing with Andre Ward. Andre Ward felt like he could beat AJ. I mean, I just think when it comes to Demetrius Andrade, you might be right. I think we're just going off reputation more than what we've seen in the ring. Because I haven't seen nothing in the ring that tells me, I got to be honest with you, that he's that dude. I haven't seen nothing in the ring that tells me that.
And you have the
reputation. Go ahead.
Like we get used to it because it's boxing and stuff like that, and we deal with it. But boxing is in a very bad state, and I hate to go like on this rant. Just think about this for a second. The reason we haven't seen those really big layers of Demetrius Andrade is because he hasn't fought anybody. This guy debuted in 2008. You know what that means? That means this guy has been fighting. Okay, he's been officially, I'm holding up air quotes, a boxer for 15 years. 5 years later, he would be at the 20-year mark. That would be the entire longevity of Floyd Mayweather's career. Like, try to look at how many people Floyd Mayweather was fighting at 15 years in his career. This guy hasn't fought anybody, and I can understand. Like, I think he had like a death in the family, and that kind of, threw him off his game. But before that, he was still very inactive. He was not fighting anybody. So, I don't see why people keep bigging up Demetrius Andrade. He hasn't fought anybody in his entire career. He's like, and then he can't. I don't think people like place it on him. I think people like to go with the assumption that everybody's ducking him, but they keep looking at all the intangibles that say this is not the case. They're not looking at the case where he had a fight with Jermell Charlo, but he ended up pulling out of that fight. He came back into boxing saying that he didn't want to fight most of these people because he was convinced that everybody was on steroids. But you took the first chance at fighting Billy Joe Saunders. Like, I don't get you. You're a hypocrite. I don't get you.
Right.
I can't hear what you're saying, but there were some dudes that really ducked him and froze him out, like Bogia. That nigga was his mandatory for 3 years, and then Charlo on the other side. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't think that fight was ever gonna get done, no matter what. But yeah, I do think it was some dudes that froze him out, and Triple G.
Hey, let me get my brother basement boxing talking. What's going on with you, man? How you feeling, man?
Salute, brother.
What's going on, brother? Just listening to y'all conversation. What's good?
So let me ask you this, man. What do you think about this? This is a fight. We talking about Keith Thurman. Those fights don't matter, man. I want to get your breakdown of Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. How did you think that fight went, and what was your early prediction?
My early prediction, I thought I was going with Spence. I was going with Spence. But no excuses. I mean, it is what it is. I believe he should have did more preparing for Southpaw because the Southpaw stance that Terrence Crawford hit him with. It was amazing, bro. I get all props to Terrence Crawford, bro. He came up with a power jab, and he was the better man that night, bro.
I'm just, that's what I want to ask you, man. Have you ever seen it? We just was talking about. That's why I'm asking you some of these questions. Have you ever seen that people be so mad that a guy won that they start saying he was on drugs, he cheated, and have you ever seen that before? This is brand new, man. This is unheard of for boxing.
Nah, I mean they just said it before, but it is what it is, man. You just got a lot of diehard fans that just can't accept the loss, bro. They just
Man,
can't accept
what
the
we
loss.
got, man. We got a lot of meat boys in boxing. We don't even got boxing fans. We got meat boy fans. Now, I was going for EJ too, but hey, man, he lost. It's over. Let's move on to something this. But let me ask you something real important. I'm gonna go back to the panel. Why do you think we haven't seen Devin Haney versus Tio yet? Why haven't we seen that fight?
Uh, hmm.
Because I'm gonna tell you this. I believe Devin weighing his options, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think that Devin and his daddy Bill want to get tied into another contract with Bob Arum like that. Bob ain't about to let him just fight Tio one time. Just fight one time. So he gonna probably want it for a 2 or 3 fight contract. And it
Mm-hmm.
might look better, you know, doing business with Eddie Hearn, going to get the WBC title from Regis,
Mm-hmm.
and then going from there.
I think it's funny, man, because Teofimo actually got robbed out of being undisputed with this whole Devin Haney jazz. One minute he the Pride champion, next minute he the full WBC champion. It's just like I
Kobe,
honestly think. Go ahead.
I was gonna say this too. Don't forget, Devin Haney he went the WBC route at 35 too. So you feel me? I wouldn't be
But
surprised if he go the WBC route and make maybe a 2 fight deal with Eddie Hearn in the zone, and it might be fight Regis, it might fight Richard Hitchison, something like that. I can see something in the lines of that, bro.
I'll tell you this, man. I get a lot of flack this, but I feel like Bill Haney's a pimp, man. Because and I want everybody on the panel can respond to this. I say that because it seems like all he does is put his son around good trainers or great trainers. Like he had Mickey Bay helping him, he had Floyd Senior helping him. He got Yoel Judah with him now. It's like all he want to do is put him around these great trainers or good trainers, and then the moment his son get on autopilot, he want to take him away. Why is Bill Haney why is he just doing that? Why don't he just get out the way and let his son get some proper training? What you think, man? What y'all think? I'll let everybody answer that. What y'all think about that?
I think. I mean, honestly, I don't think he was screwed at all. To when it came to the belt situation, because all he would have had to do is just fight Haney. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I understand like the situation with Suleiman just being a crook and trying to make it seem like he was the undisputed. But you should have known that if he has the other belt, then there would just be no need for dispute. So just fight him and you'd be done with it. I think the issue is, for one, he didn't want to fight him, and two, Camboso's got in the way of him doing that.
I don't know. Go ahead. Go ahead. Whoever's next, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with Mass Man, and he decided to instead go with the Cambosos route. But wasn't Cambosos mandatory at the time?
Supposedly.
So
Yeah, but
so it would have.
unification supersedes mandatories.
I don't think
Yeah,
that it
yeah,
does.
baby. I mean, yeah. So they could have got that fight on.
But
So we
I
can't put
thought
the
Lumber
onus
versus
on
Tito
Haney
was
to now
undisputed.
move up and go make that fight immediately. If he decides he wants to go deal with Regis and get that title out of the way, he can go do that.
So
That's why I
Yeah,
said
so
he might go the
go
Eddie
ahead.
Hearn route.
So basically what y'all basically telling me, tell me if I'm hearing this right. So basically y'all saying he's scared to death of T.O., so he's gonna do whatever he can to stay away from T.O. Is that what I'm
I'm
getting?
not saying he's scared of
Wait, you talking about
T.O.
Devin
It's
Haney?
business.
Man,
It's just business wise, bro. It make
It's
better
like
business sense.
it's like to make it simple. It's both fighters more than likely are stalling the fight out purposely so they can get more money, and that's all that's ever been like it. That, like people make it too complicated. What they say with the issues with the promoters and the networks stuff like that. If you really want a fight to happen, you should do everything in your power to negotiate with those promoters and those fighters to make that fight happen. Especially if there's a lot of money to be made, but they purposely stall out fights, and it's become an issue with boxing now because that's become the norm now. So that's the reason why this fight is to happen. Uh, what's his name? Teofimo didn't want to fight Devin Haney when it first started, so I doubt he still wants to fight him now, unless he just really feels that his time is coming to a close.
Master Man, I got a question for you. Are you related to Get the Smoke?
No, 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 no. I'm not. I know him. I know him for years. I know him for years. But
Y'all got the same
yeah,
voice, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
I'm saying like it's like I'm listening to Smoke, and he
hey,
really
but
informed on the sport.
well, this what I'll say. You know what? I don't know if you've ever been in lockdown or in trouble before. I think T.O. is the type of dude. If Devin Haney was on lockdown, I think he would take Devin Haney's case, all his commissary, his whole locker would be T.O. I think T.O. would walk in there, take his whole store from him, and walk out of there. Because I'm telling y'all, Devin Haney is not who they say he is, bro. Because you got Sugar Shakur talking about, "Don't let me catch you on the street. You're gonna end up like Takeoff." Like you got all these people talking so hard at Devin Haney. I'm just wondering, is it Bill Haney creating all this hate? Because it seemed like Devin's a nice kid. I don't know where all the animosity is coming towards Devin. Is that just because of his dad? What do you guys think about that?
Nah, they just hate him.
For what?
Just is what it is, man. I don't know. People hate him.
What you think, Mason? Why you think they hate him so much, man?
I mean, hate comes from the heart. I can't explain that shit.
Yeah,
I think it's weird.
it's real hard to explain, but just look at this, man. How many how many people in Devin Haney's shoes? Like, you know, he come, his father already had a little bit of money, so they went the independent route, and he done made the most money in boxing for somebody at his age. So I mean, he gotta expect the hate to come. You feel? But it's cool.
I just I just don't understand it because he to me he's one of the most boring fighters in boxing. I give you that. He's super boring. He's hard to watch, but at the end of the day, I just think people be kind of going overboard with the hate of him. Like I don't know. Did y'all think that was cool that Shakur talking about what he'll do to him outside of the ring? Where y'all think that came from?
nah, man. To me, that's corny. I mean, you wouldn't fight that man for $8 million, but you'll fight him in the streets for free. Get the fuck out of here, my nigga. Like that shit is super corny to me. I don't care about none of that Twitter beef.
Hey, how do they
I
try? How do they
agree. I
try?
think he. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead. I'm just laughing, man.
I think he put on a persona just for like uh yeah, he just put on a persona. I don't think he's really like that. Like, yeah, we can say he got in that fight, that brawl that went viral, but yeah, I don't think he's
And
in
this
that
goes
category.
even this goes all the way back to when he fought that African dude. And he was talking about, oh, you a cop. I'm not gonna get beat by no cop. I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. Da, da, da. Man, I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Hey, Mason, what you think about Sugar Shakur being a part-time thug? Man, what you think about that, man?
Oh, man, I like Shakur, bro. Hey, it is what it is, bro. Basically, right now, he just trying to sell himself. I mean, he in a real fucked up predicament. He moved up to 135, can't get a fight. He turned the Devin Haney down. I mean, I can't say I'm mad at him. 25% of what? And then it comes out, people talking about
Oh,
it. Then the
oh
people come
man.
out and say it's supposed to be 8 million. I mean, I don't know. But it's gonna. I mean, if he don't bust a move right now at 35, look forward to moving up to 140, bro.
Hey, basement talk. Come on, man. I didn't heard you, man. You sound like a politician on here, bro. I can't believe you. I can't believe you agree with that crap, man. That's the worst thing you could ever do. Is what Shakur did. He turned down a fight with the undisputed champion. Come on,
And
basement.
then it's gonna be weight
No,
drain. Think
listen.
about that too, BBO.
Man, I would have took that so fast, made his head swim, bro. Like the old
Then he
folks
could
say,
go
man.
fight Tank Davis for $20 million, man. He should have took that fight.
Hey,
And
you.
not only that, one more thing. Where else is he gonna get $8 million from? Outside of Devin Haney or Tank Davis?
I don't know, man. He would one of the. He
Man,
would. He
that's
would
a
Jay
straight duck.
Prince. He
That is
would
a
Jay Prince.
nah,
So
that's a
he.
duck.
I think it's a duck too, man. I just think no matter what we say, man, Sugar's is cool. I'm starting to think he a hype job. What y'all think? What you think, Mass, man? What you think?
Hell nah, he ain't no hype job. I just don't think he
What
handled
what
that
what
situation
happened?
correctly.
I say do you think that Sugar Shakur is a hype job?
Hype job? Nah. They call him Sugar?
Yeah, yeah.
That's my first time hearing it. No, I don't think he's a hype guy. Honestly, I used to think he was. I remember when he first started, I didn't have high hopes for him, but like I think personally he's gotten a lot better compared to when he first started. Um, I didn't have him beating uh Valdez at first. I didn't have him beating Valdez, and then he made me eat crow. So he kind of made me a believer. I do think he's a good I think he's a good fighter. So yeah, I don't think he's a hype job.
What you think, Basement Talk? You think he a hype job? Cause he ain't fought nobody at 135. What you think?
No, I mean, shit. Everybody turned down fights. Everybody turned the fight down. I mean, you can't get a fight at 135, bro.
I think that they said Devin sent him a fight offer.
Yeah, 8 million, man.
I mean,
Come-
More than twice as big as payday.
I mean that's what they said about the 8 million. The 8 million just came out, but I mean, I don't know. I just
hey,
know that Shakur.
Basement
Listen to
Talk.
this. Nah,
Go
listen
ahead.
to this. Shakur got a lot of hands in on the in on his check, bro. Just think, Bob got to get paid, his pay. Jay Prince got to get his pay. If them two don't give the nod, he can't do nothing, bro. Flat out.
Yeah,
So
but
it's not basically him turning the fight down. It's them turning the fight down.
Nah, get out of here, man.
see,
Nah.
Yeah, bro.
Basement
I mean,
Boxing is a
just
politician.
I mean, you gotta look at the business route, bro. I mean, I do a little promotion myself, so
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I he don't have to say so, bro. He don't have to say so. If he had to say so, he would have took the fight. It's the people behind him. They're not giving him the say so. They're not giving him the nod, bro.
You remember? You remember what?
Well, he put them people in them positions to make those decisions. So it's still on that nigga.
No, 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 no. Them,
I
them,
don't
them
care.
people,
It's still on him.
them people put him in the position that he in. You feel me? They done invested a lot of money behind Shakur, bro, and they got to get that money back too. They got to get that money back, bro. They ain't got it.
This
Man,
this is
He
my
ain't got
only
it
thing.
back yet, bro.
This is my only thing, man. When Oscar wanted to fight Tito, man, he told Bob to fight Tito, or I'll never fight again. If you a star like that, go to your trainer and your promoter and tell them what you need. This ain't no poo putt dude. Let's be honest, man. Jay Prince only have the best of the best with him. Jay Prince, I don't know if he the best talent scout you ever seen in boxing. You talking about Floyd Mayweather, Andre Ward, Big Baby Anderson, and now Sugar Shakur. I mean, the dude. Honestly, I'm really starting to think at the end of the day, man, Sugar Shakur is just with great representation, man. Because I mean, when you were Jay Prince, man, say what you want. We all know about what Jay Prince and his family did to take off. Guy was super foul. But I'm telling you this, man. I just think, man, when you with a manager like him, every fight is available to you, man. Am I wrong to think that?
no,
You
you
definitely wrong. You
absolutely
definitely
right.
wrong to think that everybody you name was around him and they all left him but Shakur. Come on, bro.
I mean,
hold on, but
you're not gonna keep
when
a
you
Floyd Mayweather. I mean, you're not gonna keep a Floyd Mayweather. He kept Andre Ward till Andre Ward retired.
because Andre Ward signed a lifetime contract.
Did you know that Jay Prince gave Andre Ward $10 million 3 different times? That's one
10
of the
different
reasons.
times?
3 different times.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
Like Andre Ward wasn't even like, I don't even know if he was. You got to read his book, but I don't even think he was getting paid off his boxing because Jay Prince was lacing him up. Like, you a promoter, man. You know you got to spend money. So he was already taking care of Andre Ward. I mean, at the end of the day, the only reason why Floyd and Jay Prince fell apart is because Floyd had to pay that $750,000 back to Jay Prince to get out of that Al Heyman deal. That's what the whole thing came over. Floyd wanted to go for free, and Jay Prince said, "No, I need my money."
Mm-hmm. And he sent them steppers his way.
Hey, but I'll say this, man. I appreciate y'all, man, coming through, man. It's my boy Basement Boxing Talk, my man Marky Dan Mass, man. I'll tell you this, man. I just want to try something different on the late night side. It ain't for me, but I appreciate y'all brothers coming through, and we're gonna talk some boxing real soon. When next time you gonna be on live, Basement Talk?
I'm gonna go live tomorrow, bro. I'll send you an invite.
All right, cool. I'll be there for you. Salute to my man Marky Dan, the boxer historian, and Mass man, my man new to the
Hey,
set, man. I appreciate you, bro.
hey, BVO,
Thank
one
you for
more
having me.
thing.
Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna just post the link to our fantasy league in the chat because we
Oh
having the
yeah.
live draft on Tuesday.
Oh yeah. Come through for that. I don't. You part of any leagues? Basement Talk.
Yeah, a few of them, but I come through.
All right, cool, man. We about to do a little draft, man. Come through, man.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I just put in the chat, Basement.
All
All
right,
right, good looking, Marky. Appreciate you, bro. Peace.
All right, salute.